That's pretty good. I know you can probably see it in Discord, but you know. All right. Touche. I love that. That's great. Oh, hey, youngling. I got some bad news for you. Just enjoy your time here, okay? You know, really soak it all in. Things are gonna get real bad. Wait, Jordan's here? Wait, did I miss Jordan? No, Jordan's not here. Right? Oh, it was a George.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
Yeah.
Nonder.
You're ruining our RP walk. I got the I have the coolest music playing right now. I'm gonna have to clip that.
Some random naked dude just runs into you like a maniac. We don't associate with it.
What was that? Get out of your comfort zone. I'm not comfortable right now. I'm in great pain. I'm in great. I'm a professional hitman. It's time for a high-speed chase. Gotta take this cop out. He's the only one who knows the truth. Get out of my way. Wish.com hitman right here. Shut up. I mean, you're not wrong, but...
God, who's shooting at me? I'll go up here and lose them in the National Forest. Or slam into
Boom! Yeah! Who's a Wish.com hitman now? You see that back turn? Look at that.
In 2 years, and they've added a lot of stuff that I've apparently not collected.
Nonder, I have a ridiculous glove for you.
Ooh, really? Uh-oh. Hang on, I'm getting a Black Tusk invasion detected.
Ooh.
Looks like some of the missions just got locked down. Alright, come on. Yes. Would I blanket statement across the board and say every single one of them is in a cult? I don't think I would say that. But I think there's culty behavior for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, and the Texas governor, yeah, we can get started about that. 2022, here in, what is that, November or something? That'll be important. No, it's totally. I'm gonna use my Christmas gun.
Look at this, dude. Look at this. Aw, Christmas noob.
Christmas.
Look at this.
Hey, that's our thing.
That's our word.
You like this?
What is
Hey,
what is this?
You like this?
That's a shortcut. Oh, nope. Clumsy, can you clip that for me? Can you?
Hang on. Hang on, I can do it.
That can't be real, man.
Start this morning with some breathing exercises. Man. I'm tired. If the energy is just a little bit low this morning for like maybe an hour, I apologize. I think we'll be okay. I'll be okay after I get some more coffee in me. I slept really good last night because I was out in the sun. You're low energy too. Good morning, Troy. Good morning, Clumsy. I got this. So, I'll get there. I slept really good last night, but I was so worn out. We threw a little birthday party for the boy. And when we booked it a couple weeks ago, we thought the biggest concern we'd have would be rain. Hey, Elf, how's it going? Good old Saturday morning stream. Yep. We thought our biggest concern would just be rain, but our biggest concern should have been the heat because it is unseasonably warm in Texas. It was about 105, and we booked an outdoor birthday party. Don't judge me, okay? When we booked it, it was not supposed to be that hot, okay? It wasn't. We also booked a park with a pavilion, so we thought, hey, even if it's a little hot, we'll have shade, and that's big. Yeah, there was rain last night too, which is weird. We thought we'd have shade, and when we got there, we realized the pavilions had like these slats in them, like it was kind of like a, what would you call it? It didn't have a full-on covering. Weirdest thing ever, especially for Texas. It's like, come on, like. So we probably should have scouted the location first, but we didn't. Fahrenheit. We're talking Fahrenheit. 105 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that'd be in Celsius. I could do the math, but I'm tired. Anyway, here, I'll keep talking while I get this stuff set up. Shoot. Curse you, phone. Come on. I hate it when it does this. Sorry. Okay. All right, we're going to focus. Come on. Here, focus on that keyboard. There you go. There you go. So, didn't realize that. That was the biggest concern. Right? Look at that. Beautiful. But kept thinking, it'll probably be all right. We're just out there for a little while. It was in the evening, so it wasn't too bad. It was bad. It was real bad.
Write with a broken pencil because it's pointless.
That's a good one. Arnod443, thank you for the bits. I appreciate that. And a first-time chatter. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Shouldn't write with a broken pencil because it's pointless, but that's pretty good. Yeah. So it was hot. We only ended up spending about an hour there. My mother-in-law had to kind of tap out. It was way too hot. So, things in hindsight are like, why did we do certain things? But we really didn't think it would end up being as bad as it was. And so, let's see, move the camera a little bit. There we go. And so we decided we were going to like brave it out, but we ended up calling it. And we had kind of a come and go for like people who wanted to come. And then we were like, okay, we're calling it. Anybody who's not here, come to the house because it's just, yeah. Bleh. Keep seeing you shout out in DDG's channel. So I'm here now for the first time. Welcome. Good old Dutch Daddy Gamer / Dutch Daddy does, right? Really good people over there. There's bag number 1. All right, so there's 4 bags in here. This one shouldn't take us too long, right? 4, 3. Oh, actually, there you go. These two go together. Excellent. So we called it. But the thing is we're trying to have like a small get together. We're obviously still concerned about, especially for him with COVID and whatnot. So just to like, not that many people, but we're like, man, it'd be so nice not to have to like clean the house and have things ready in the house. So having it outside would have been fine. And normally, guys, having that outside would be completely acceptable, right? It's only June. It should not be 105 degrees in June. It shouldn't. Like it's something's not right. Obviously, something is not okay. Because this should not be happening in June. This is like maybe end of July, early August. So yeah, global warming. And it was not 105 last week when we booked it. So I'm just trying to justify myself, you know. I'm trying. Yeah, I mean, probably a little bit of global warming stuff. I don't know. It just seems like it's getting hotter and hotter earlier and earlier each year. Yeah, so one of the people there was like, been living in Texas for his whole life, and was saying that he's hopeful that because it started so early, that means maybe it'll end a little earlier, but he might just have been being hopeful, you know? Yeah, so I would hope that might mean maybe our summer would end in like September instead of like October. That would be pretty nice. It's just bad. It's just bad here, you know? Not just like temperature wise, but not just physical climate, but also political climate and the raising of a family and being able to do things the way that you want to do them. I thought Texas was supposed to be some bastion of, what would you call it? Some bastion of independence. That's the word. Of like, you know, let me do what I want and don't bother me. Don't get in my business. But man, it seems like they're all up in our business lately, huh? I don't mean to turn this into a Texas complaining stream, but needless to say, it was hot, but we survived. Ooh, I've got cold pizza in that fridge. Ooh. Would you guys mind if at some point during this stream I ate some cold pizza? Would you mind? And at the end of the day, Zeke got to play with some kids. That was our main goal, right? With just about everybody we invited, we're like, we need to make sure that he can have some interaction with kids. And he did. And he was having a great time. But he was hot. He was sweating. We made sure that he was continuing to stay hydrated. We had drinks and stuff for everybody. So we weren't just like being ignorant to the fact that it was hot, you know? It's Chuck Norris. And we knew it would be hot. It's a roundhouse kick of hydration.
Okay,
here's a problem. Small Levi just redeemed roundhouse kick of hydration. I am drinking coffee, which is patently not hydrating. I do have some hydrating liquid, but I happened to just put this in, and it was this. Pamplemousse. Do y'all know what pamplemousse is? LaCroix pamplemousse. It is grapefruit. Have you ever had coffee and grapefruit? I didn't think this through. I gotta do more than that. Coffee and grapefruit juice. That wasn't as bad because it's just like slightly grapefruit. It wasn't as bad. Yeah. Yeah. So I thought of that earlier and I was like, I probably shouldn't have it. It was basically all I had. I'm running low on liquids. Because I used a lot of them yesterday. And so I was like, well, I'll just do a LaCroix. By the time anybody is in here redeeming hydrates, it'll be I'll be done with my coffee. Silly me. All right, let's get started though. The instruction manual. It's just essence of Pamplemousse, exactly. Yeah. The instruction manual is very nice. It's like
It's Chuck Norris's
this one's like
water.
a book.
It's a roundhouse kick of hydration.
I'm gonna work on like a zoom cam, where it just zooms in on my face. That was a pitiful sip. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to just sip it. That was a straight up drink. Good morning, Lars. How are you? Good morning, good day, good afternoon. Okay. Oh. So this is the Death Star diorama. This is the first minifigure scale diorama that we have. We have this one, and we have the Dagobah training. So I'm very excited about this. There's lots of smooth edges on here, which is good. And I didn't realize this. Look at the thing on the back. There's like R2-D2 and C-3PO on the back. Isn't that cool? It's just so clever. I did actually sleep really well. I was just telling everybody we got a little bit of sun yesterday, so I did actually sleep really well. It's weird when you're outside for a while in the heat how well you sleep. Oh, we're just going all out with these, huh? Where did I put the rest of them? Am I blind? Hello? Oh, they're there. They're there. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Most of my family has eye issues. Almost every single one of them have glasses. Or require corrective lenses of some sort, whether they're like reading lenses or not. Most of them do. So far in my life, I don't think I need them yet. But I think it's kind of caught up with most of them a little bit later in life, so hopefully I won't. It's so hard to tell because you only have the context that you have for yourself, right? Oh, I see what Clumsy you said about cold pizza. Cold pizza in the morning is the guiltiest of pleasures and one of the most wonderful things I can think of. And I'm not being hyperbolic. That's wonderful. Yesterday, when I got home, speaking of eyes, this eye here felt like it kind of had something in it, like it was just a little bit blurry. And I kept trying to like rub at it and rinse it out with water and whatnot. Finally, I got whatever it was, but it made me concerned for a while. I'm like, what is happening with my eye? Cold pizza is best pizza. I agree. I think the best part of getting pizza is not eating all of it so that you can have leftovers the next day. And I'm so excited. We got it's only cheese pizza, but man, there's just something about pizza, cold pizza. I'm so excited. I probably won't eat it on stream. I'm not a big stream eating kind of person. If I ever did like a 24-hour, obviously I would have to. But I'm not a big, I don't know. I know most people probably don't care as long as you're not like obnoxious about it. And I know some people even like it. But nah, I think I'm too self-conscious. I'm too self-conscious about my teeth to do that. And I need to just at least, I should just go to a dentist and get my teeth corrected and taken care of, and I'd be fine. But Lego Wash Day, excellent. So Lars, if you guys have seen it in the Discord, I found some vintage Lego, kind of a mix of Lego. Some of which looks like it might be some vintage. Doing a wash today. I'm thinking of getting Invisalign. My teeth are pretty straight. I have like a pretty bad I have a pretty bad plaque issue on mine, and then I have one tooth back here that's a little chipped, and I had to get a. It wasn't a filling. What's like the major, and it wasn't a root canal or something. It was years ago. Not years ago. It was a long time ago. So I am due for sure for a checkup, and I don't know why, but I always avoid it. A cap? It might be a cap. Yeah, something like that. I always avoid it. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. I'm terrified of it for some reason. I don't get it. But yeah, Invisalign, I've heard good things about Invisalign. So I never got my wisdom teeth removed. Nope. They didn't really cause me problems, even though, you know, I think I probably should have had them removed. Because they caused me problems for a little bit. For like maybe a year. Until, I don't know. They just stop. Like they don't hurt or anything anymore. So yeah. So don't take dental advice from me for sure. For sure. Oops. I didn't develop as a kid, I didn't develop good habits. And I think I think that's something that's so important, is getting good habits when you're young will help you when you're older. And I don't know. It's so hard when you're a kid because you want to blame yourself, but also like you're a kid, like your mental faculties aren't even, I'm going to move these up here. Your mental faculties aren't even developed yet, you know? So you don't want to just strictly blame your parents. I don't remember if my parents like forced me to brush my teeth, you know? I don't know. I assume that they did. Like I had a toothbrush, you know, I could have done it, but all I know is I didn't get good habits enforced. And that I think is a problem. So I try to do my best with the little boy. He gets his teeth brushed every night. We talk about it a lot before he goes to bed, you know. I just want to establish good habits. I don't want him to look back and be like, oh, I just didn't have a good habit. But also I don't really have an excuse now because I'm an adult. You know what I mean? So I take care of him now. I need to go to the dentist. And I take him to the dentist, so I need to be like, what's good for him is good for me. But I don't know why they're so, like, teeth in general are so connected to like our mental health in a really weird way. I guess it's because you get drilled into your head that you only get the ones, like after baby teeth fall out, you only get the one set. You don't get to grow back anymore. Which, poor design, if you ask me. Humans should be able to regrow teeth. We should be able to regrow everything. Why can't we regrow anything? We can regrow our hair and our nails. Speaking of nails. It's probably, the coffee probably doesn't help my stains either, if I'm honest. Look at those nails. I'm so glad I got good habits when it comes to that stuff. Definitely helped. It for sure does. I could be much worse. It could be much worse for me. I feel like I have good habits in my life now. I feel pretty good with that. In fact, like the last couple like years for sure. But my younger years, I didn't have very good habits. Hey God, your design sucks. Why didn't you make it where I can grow teeth? We have to trim back our hair and nails every once in a while, and I don't want to be trimming back my teeth. Ooh, could you imagine having to go into the dentist for your monthly grinding? They just have to like grind your fangs down because they just keep growing. Ooh, okay, yeah. I mean, that does sound kind of creepy. That sounds pretty creepy. And if you like miss a trimming, you grow them long enough where they start cutting into your skin and bleeding. and everybody can see. It'd be horrible. But it does seem weird that it's kind of like, that's what you get. Like, that's it, you know? I mean, some people grind their teeth and have to wear something, and they have to wear something at night to keep them from grinding. Mrs. Nonder grinds her teeth, and she sometimes wears like a guard for that. Except with the appendix, that was a mistake. Yeah, what do you think that's about? Mrs. Nonder had her appendix out as well. I'm just divulging all of her medical information. Sorry. But she did. I think of wolf fangs. Maybe a set of teeth every 20 years. Yeah. It'd be nice if you could go into your golden age, you know, your twilight years with a good set of teeth. Because I feel like our lives would probably increase, our lifespan would probably increase a little bit if we're able to continue to have good nutrition when we're super old, you know? I think it would. But yeah, I don't know what's up with the appendix. I'm not sure who dropped the ball on that one. Yeah. You know, it's a good case. It's a good case to it's a good case to point people to say, you know, evolution in the way that we understand it can probably change. You know, that's what science is. We change as we discover new things. But at the very least, you can kind of see there are some things about the human body that, evolutionarily speaking, make a little more sense, that we've kind of adapted over hundreds of thousands of millions of years, however long it's been. That, you know, you could look at a couple of things and be like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. And that doesn't mean you can't believe that a creator did that, you know? It just means that you can look at the evidence and be like, well, interesting. That and wisdom teeth, yeah. Why do they... I feel like my parents told me wisdom teeth, you have to get them in when you become wise, so like when you grow up. But then, like, they never really explained to me why people had to pull them out then, you know? Yeah, there's just some things that are like, I think that these faculties made sense way back when. And as the human body has changed, our needs changed with it, and they don't make as much sense anymore, you know? I don't know what the appendix was for. Or really, guys, we could be looking at something with the appendix. We think, what was it used for before? We could be developing an organ in our body over the next million years that we don't need right now, but we might need later. You know? Mine came in at a bad angle and didn't have enough space. Yeah. I had a friend that had them all removed, then had new ones put in. Not sure how that process is or works. So, like, they took the crooked ones out and then put, like, enamel ones in the correct position. That's interesting, because that would affect like everything in your mouth, like how the rest of your teeth kind of, yeah. It's a fart filter? You never know. Okay, first, we should probably say, am I confused about the appendix? Is this one of those things that you hear that, like, no one knows what the appendix is used for, but really we actually do know what the appendix is used for? Is it one of those things? No, 100% of his teeth were removed. Wow. Okay. Wow. And not, they didn't just get dentures? I gotta tell you guys, I know some people, I won't dox them, but I know some people who got dentures at a relatively young age, and it immediately improved their lives, like, dramatically. I think that, like, as long as they can avoid the stigma from other people, and you would never be able to tell. And it, especially if you've had bad teeth, like, that can be a lifesaver for so many people. Just that ability to have, like, a good teeth again, because some people just get horrible horrible roll of the dice when it comes to genetics, or just horrible when they're younger, they had worse dental practices and they never went to the dentist, or their parents didn't take them, or they never taught them how to brush their teeth, never taught them how to floss, stuff like that. So that can be life-changing for people. Okay. It holds good gut bacteria. For real? I believe you, but does it really? Normally, the appendix sits in the lower right abdomen. The function of the appendix is unknown. One theory is that the appendix acts as a storehouse for good bacteria, rebooting the digestive system after diarrheal illnesses. Interesting. Other experts believe the appendix is just a useless remnant from our evolutionary past. That's intriguing, though. Huh. See, that would kind of make sense. And as our diets are also evolving and humans are eating like weird food, maybe we are developing something like that. Do you still have to brush dentures? Yes. You have to brush them, and you have to soak them overnight in like some dental fluid. And that just keeps them from deteriorating and stuff like that. Because if you think about it, they're sitting in your mouth with a bunch of bacteria and acids and stuff like that, and everything you eat during the day. All right, we're starting now on, these are translucent pieces. There's a bunch of those. But yeah, honestly, Levi, like dentures seem pretty nice. I mean, I don't think my teeth are that far gone. They're definitely not that far gone. I just need to swallow whatever fear this is and go to the dentist and get a good cleaning and get a good consultation, and probably like, I know I'd have to have something done with this tooth. I really think if I had something done with this tooth, it'd probably be it. I probably have a couple of cavities, maybe. But once I did that, I'd honestly probably be in much better shape. And I don't know why. It's just so hard to even admit for some reason that it's a problem. I don't know. It's weird. Also, I mean, I do have insurance here in the US through my job, thankfully, but it's still not free, even with insurance, especially if you got to start getting some kind of surgery, like dental surgery. It's not cheap, guys. Clumsy says you get a bad spawn. Yeah, very possible. Like for some people, it's totally not their fault that their teeth are bad. It's bad genetics. It's yeah, they were never taught. They were never enforced. Could be a whole host of things like that. So we're creating a very gross little trash water pattern on the ground here, which I'm here for. Look at that. That's gonna be cool. Some good old trash water. Hold up a minute. I put brown here. This is supposed to be gray. Why did I think that was brown? Again, am I okay? I gotta work on this camera angle. I have an arm here holding the phone that you see right here. I need to get one more arm to come out a little further so that I can sit back here and like maybe build like here. I think I'd have better posture that way. Trash water. The trash adds extra flavor. Ugh. Have you guys ever been to like a trash dump? I used to actually go to trash dump quite regularly back home. If you want to get rid of anything bulk, you would have to actually physically take it to the dump yourself. There'd be this big building, not too far from our house, actually. This big building you drive up to, and you kind of show the guys like what you have to dump. And I don't think it was free. I think you'd have to like pay depending on what it was. And you pull up to this big building with a huge dumpster in the back, and you just basically throw everything. on the ground, and then they'd come in with machinery to push it into this big trash compactor. That's really what it was, a big trash compactor. And I tell you, it is one of the worst smells I think I have ever smelled. It's disgusting. You've gone once, yeah. Oh, posture check. Oh, shoot. Thank you, Troy. It's disgusting. It's really gross. It definitely makes you think twice about, like, wow, there is so much trash in the world that at some point there's going to be a big, big problem. There was a company advertising you could get Invisalign stuff without having to go in because of small town problems. Yeah. That stuff is good. I think it's good if you can get access to it, you know, without having to drive into the big city, you know. And I mean, I think that's a big problem in rural areas, especially in the U.S., where they don't have, either they don't have access to that stuff, or again, they weren't taught that that was important. And so they think, man, that's just for the fancy people, you know. Ooh, this is getting interesting to keep track of what we've done. It's probably where some of the minifigures will stand, if I had to guess. Isn't there already? Oh yeah, I mean, it's already a big problem. Yeah, it is already a big problem. It makes you aware of the problem. I remember even as a young kid going there with my dad he did like a lot of projects and stuff. So he would constantly be like ripping stuff out of the house and throwing stuff, construction supplies and stuff like that, that were old and bad. He'd be throwing stuff like that out. Hold on, something's up here. Okay. Yeah, I did one too many here. Okay. Brown up here. There we go. But I remember even thinking as a kid, like, so this is just where the trash goes. Like, yep, that's where it goes. And so, like, from here, like, what do they do with it? And he's like, what do you mean, what do they do with it? This is where the trash goes. And it's like, oh, so it's like here forever. And he's like, yeah, like, that's what the dump is. That's where the trash goes. And it's like, wouldn't that fill up after a while? You start questioning the trash and your whole worldview crumbles. And they know it. They know the moment you start questioning trash, it's all over. You're going to get way too woke. But I don't pretend to have been understanding of that situation fully as a kid. But I definitely had some moments where I'm like, wow, that's not what I thought was happening to trash. I don't know what I thought was happening to trash, but out of sight, out of mind. So all of a sudden now there's a place like within less than an 8-minute drive from my home where all the trash was. And that's a little jarring, you know? You just think about all the gross stuff you've thrown away over the years, and it's just there. Ugh. Big trash is onto you now. Watch out. If the stream goes down, it was big trash. Big trash is big mad. This is a whole... You all are trash psyops. Yep. You work for trash CIA. CI trash, CIT, Central Intelligence of Trash, Central Trash, CTI, Central Trash Intelligence. I don't know. Big. Okay, so we said big trash, but there's like a corporation behind that, right? like that runs our trash economy. I suppose they just get paid to pick everything up, right? Yeah. It needs some workshopping. I agree, it needs workshopping. We're not there yet. We'll figure it out before the end of the stream. This is the trash stream. We're just gonna talk trash. So I know, so for me, I pay for, it's funny how they put water and trash on the same bill, right? So I get like a bill each month from the city that I live in. And it says for, you know, for our water usage and trash fees, right? So somebody gets paid to haul that away. Is that the only profit motive, though? Is that the only way that they're getting paid? Here, the trash place was this row of low garages where you could just drop stuff that was still good, but you didn't want anymore. And there were areas where you could toss specific types of trash over a wall. Nice. I think it would be good to have safe places for people to put things that are like, look, this is great, I just don't want it, and I'm not really interested in making money off of it, to where other people could come and take it without there being stigma around that. Like, I think in this world, it's sad that people have to feel like they need to dumpster dive to survive. But also at the same time, I know people who have done that. I worked with a guy who was he wasn't like a full-time dumpster diver, but he would definitely like go and check out dumpsters. So, okay, maybe he was. But like, I think that term has a bad connotation for people who are kind of down on their luck, lower income people. But I think they can find quite a bit of good stuff in there. So it's a little sad that there's just really only one way to kind of get rid of stuff, is either try to sell it, or find somebody who can take it for you. So there should be more socially acceptable ways to get rid of stuff like that. I think that would be a good thing, a net positive. Around here, we have like a trash day on Monday. It's like a bulk pickup day. And so it's understood that most people put up bigger stuff on that day. And you put out stuff at the road with the intention of, if someone wants to come take this, they can, before the trash people get there. And almost every time I put out something large, somebody has come and taken it. And that actually, I'm actually happy about that, because I'm glad someone else could either get some use out of it, or that they could sell it and get some money. More power to you. I think that's great. So that is kind of understood in our neighborhood. So you try to put things to the road when it's not raining, when it's not going to get damaged by weather, because then it's like, well, somebody can use it, you know. Here, the trash place. Oh, I read that one. And then there were areas you could toss specific trash. Don't they make methane from trash? Do they? Or does trash just make methane from landfills? Or does trash just naturally make methane? Methane emissions from landfills. Municipal solid waste landfills. So solid waste would be human fecal matter. Johnny Depp. Human fecal matter. Municipal solid waste landfills are the third largest source of human-related methane. So yeah, they take, like, everything we flush down goes into that kind of... Yeah, I do think trash would emit some kind of methane at some point. Is a landfill the same thing? Let's see. Here's the EPA. Landfill gas. Landfill gas, or LFG, is generated during the natural process of bacteria decomposition of organic material. Sorry if I didn't make that big enough for y'all. Contained in landfills. A number of factors influence the quantity of gas. These factors include, but are not limited to, the types and age of the waste buried in landfill, the quantity and types of organic compounds in the waste, moisture, temperature, etc. So yeah, it looks like they do... Yeah, so maybe they can harness that a little bit. Yeah, welcome. This is the trash stream. This is trash. This is the trash stream, and in the best way. We are learning. This is how we learn.
This stream is trash.
For the first time, somebody saying that would not hurt my feelings. Non-methane organic compounds. So that would be like, if it's not methane, then it would be like, what is it? Composting, right? How much methane? Per the most recent inventory report, U.S. landfills are estimated at 109.3 million metric tons of carbon dioxide of methane, a carbon dioxide equivalent of methane, into the atmosphere in 2020. Good timing. Good timing. This represents 16.8% of the total U.S. anthropogenic? Yeah. Methane emissions across all sectors. That and cows. Wow. Like, yeah, that is a lot, right? How could we find out the like what is the most methane? I'll look at just US. Overview of greenhouse gases. Is that the same thing? Gases that trap heat? Yeah, there's methane. Okay. So 2020, this is the same data we were looking at before, 2020. It's about 11%. But didn't it say it was like carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide enters the atmosphere through the burning of fossil fuels. Ooh, solid waste, trees, other biological materials. And also as a result of certain chemical reactions, manufacturing of cement. Really? Huh. Carbon dioxide is removed from the atmosphere when it is absorbed by plants as part of the biological carbon cycle. We need more plants. Everybody plant some plants. Because holy cow. Methane's just 11%. So even, are the cows methane? Yeah, the cows are methane machines. But really, guys, like when I look at this, not that we shouldn't take care of that kind of stuff too, but when I look at this, I know exactly what this stuff is from. It's fossil fuels. It's like, I don't think somebody's like little campfire is really a big deal, unless it becomes a wildfire. But like, look at this. Like, even if we kept everything here the same, 11% versus almost 80% right here. Anyway, oops, did I lose the instructions? Oh no, there they are. They're still here. Okay. Whew. Phew. You know what would be cool if we put plants on top of city rooftops? That would be cool. Plants on city rooftops and solar panels. Plants like right next to solar panels. That'd be excellent. Maybe there'd be a way that you could genetically engineer a plant that absorbs sunlight and turns it into energy and also scrubs the atmosphere. That'd be cool. It's stronger in the terms of trapping in heat. Carbon dioxide is like the base unit for how strong a greenhouse gas is. Very interesting. There's a lot of ways that we could like build things a little bit differently. Like Clumsy said, it's like, okay, well, put more plants on rooftops in cities. Plant more trees, right? Excellent ideas. They're not going to do them because they don't get money from it. At the end of the day, like, it's not going to happen unless it becomes profitable for people to make it happen. Unfortunately, I'm a little cynical about this, but we got to find a profit motive for people to be good to the earth, which is so sad. Technically, plants do turn it into energy, rather sugar, but yeah, just plant energy. It'd be cool if we could turn that into like, basically like living solar generation, right? That'd be cool. That'd be sci-fi as heck. That'd be so cool. Trees keep cities cooler as well. Yep. Methane is about 30 times stronger than CO2. So even though it's a smaller percent, it's like more potent. Is that what you mean? I mean, I would believe that it's more potent because, whoo, it smells. Woohoo, capitalism. Yeah. But I mean, I even think that there would be a way for us to find a way to make certain things profitable if our government actually cared about fixing the problem. We could find a way. We could find a way to get people on board. Maybe tax credits and stuff like that. There already are some, but there have been issues with planted buildings and so on, causing city people to be all, ew, bugs. Bugs are a natural part of the cycle as well. I get it. I don't enjoy bugs. However, like, oh, I missed a spot. I'm not like, yay, I love bugs, but at the same time, it's like, come on, that's part of it, you know? There are certain bugs I enjoy keeping out of my house, but if they want to be outside, they are more than welcome to be outside as long as they want, you know? Pesticides, yeah, pesticides can cause problems too. However, there are ways that you can kind of like, I mean, we get some stuff. We have a company that comes and sprays for bugs around here. This is the first house we've ever been in where bugs were a problem. Like, because we do live in a place with a lot of trees, a lot of plants, just a whole bunch of green all around us, which is great. So we do have some treatment that definitely helps keep bugs out of the house. But as far as like outside, you know, that's typically not a big deal, you know. Ta-da! So these little rails right here, you see these rails? That's how this whole thing is gonna kind of slide together and compact our heroes. Because aren't bugs also just a natural part of the ecosystem too? So like if you're trying to make eco cities that are eco-friendly, I hate these terms, but you know, if they're friendly, then that is part of the ecosystem, you know. Hook it up to a hydraulic press. That'd be cool. We'll start making hydraulic press videos, huh? Zoom in. There we go. I don't think I need my YouTube algorithm to be taken over by hydraulic press stuff now. My YouTube algorithm's already taken over by keyboard videos right now, so I don't need that. I just can't. It's so weird to me to think about trash right now, because now that I've started talking about it, I feel like I can smell it. Like that scent when you go to when you go to a dump just lives with you. It's so unique. It's like sour and oof. I'm not puking there. I just had to cough. That probably looked like I was gagging or something, but no. I just hit the cough button. Oh, man. We're learning so much about trash. What else do we want to know about trash? Trash dump smell is a core memory. Exactly. Maybe a hitman from Big Trash is nearby. Maybe. Yeah, and they smell. You know that Big Trash is coming for you when you just all of a sudden have that faint smell of trash in the wind. If you're downstream from them, Big Trash is coming for you. Run. It's like that movie It Follows, where they're always behind you. They're always following you. You can go as far away as you want, and all you've done is buy some time, because Big Trash is coming. And when they come, you will smell them. And by the time you smell them, it's clumsy. By the time you smell them, it's already too late. I was just gonna say that. Great minds think alike. It's already too late. This could be this could be a horror movie. That was great. That was good timing. All right. I'm totally cool keeping up the trash talk. Maybe that's what we'll name this this segment, Trash Talk. Trash Talk with Non. Big Trash is coming for you. So if it produces methane, are they able to harness and sell like, can you sell methane gas? Or is methane just like not, is it usable for anything? Trash Talk would be a good podcast name. If there was a couple of guys who like worked at a dump and had insider information on trash and started a podcast called Trash Talk. Come on. Some do. They use it for fires. So then they turn around and burn more and create CO2, right? Or what did we just look at before? I should have probably left that up. Methane is relatively clean burning. Really? Okay. So as long as you don't let it out into the atmosphere, it doesn't create that 11% of the pollution, right? It's not, it's bad, but it's not that bad. Okay. Not probably as bad as fossil fuels, right? Isn't that kind of like everything, right? Where you go, oh, this is a this is a cleaner alternative. And it's like, well, it's still bad. And it's like, yes, but it's cleaner. It's better. It's not the best. It's not perfect. And I didn't say perfect. But I did say that it was better, cleaner. It's kind of like smoking. Kind of like smoking and vaping, right? I feel like if you're a smoker, and don't take this as medical advice, it's not medical advice, but it is probably good for you to use vaping in order to, stay with me, in order to quit smoking and eventually quit vaping. I'm not a doctor, don't take my medical advice. However, I don't think it's a great idea if you don't smoke at all to just start taking up vaping, you know? Probably not. But it could be a good thing to help people quit smoking. But I don't know if many people use it that way. So it's like it's better, but also it could come with its own set of problems, you know? Look at all these cool levers and stuff. Sorry. You can pull all of these. That's cool. Oh wait, is that supposed to be the monster? The Dianaga? I've never said it out loud. Diogana? I've never said it out loud. It's better. It comes from trash. What's not to like about methane? Buy your methane today. Free methane. It sounds like something they would talk about in the 50s, you know? Nothing makes you cringe quite like seeing dumb middle school kid vaping. Yeah, that's not wise. It is a complete myth that it's harmless for you. It's not harmless. It is again, we said better than smoking cigarettes. However, it should have only been like marketed as kind of like the what's the gums and stuff that you can get to help you quit smoking. Obviously you can tell I've never smoked a day in my life. Nothing, like anything. I'm straight laced. But yeah, like if it was marketed as a smoking cessation thing, I think it might have been a better idea. Chewing tobacco, that's horrible for you too. No, the gum, what is it? What is it called? The stop smoking gums. What's the chemical in smoking that everybody gets addicted to? Nicotine. Nicotine gum. Thank you. I came up with that. Nicotine gum. I can't remember the brand names, but nicotine patches. Nicotine patches. But so, like, that's the whole deal, right? With the nicotine gum and patches, you were supposed to use those to help you quit smoking, right? If you just replace smoking with that, then yeah. I mean, how do they work? We can absorb certain chemicals through our skin. No, so like you get addicted to the nicotine in cigarettes, and then when you stop smoking, you need that nicotine hit in order to push through. So it's better for you to get a small hit of nicotine without smoking than to smoke again. So the idea though is that you would wean yourself off of the patch. Like you go on the patch, and then I think you're supposed to follow like this plan that would gradually lessen the amount of nicotine in each patch and then how much that you end up using it. Yeah, you don't put it on and no more problems. You just don't feel that same need for a cigarette because you've got the nicotine hit. Now there's a whole host of other problems. There's like the oral fixation of putting something in your mouth. A lot of other problems that you also have to deal with. It's a complicated addiction, kind of like alcohol. They're very complicated. Yep, there's C3PO. I'll get you a good look at it. Excuse me. Nice 3PO figure. I don't have a lot of 3PO figures. They've gotten so good over the years. I don't know if I have... Do I have any C3PO figures? Let me think. I would think one of the Millennium Falcon sets came with it. On my poor... I've been trying to take care of my nails, guys, and I've noticed this dry skin right underneath my nails here. And I'm trying. It's hard to keep your nails clean. Ugh. I'm using like I have a whole nail set. Look at this. A whole nail set now. I don't know what half of these do. I think what do these even do? But I'm trying. I need to actually just go get a professional manicure, and then I think I'll be able to like keep it. I'll be able to keep it a little more manicured if I do that. But I figure I need it if I'm showing my hands so much on stream. I can't just have gross bitten off nails and whatnot. I just use clippers and call it a day. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to grow them out super long, but I am filing them down and I'm trying to keep them clean on the inside, you know, but it is kind of hard. They get filthy. It's really kind of gross the more you think about it. And how much you have to clean them out. It's pretty gross. But I'm probably not going to keep them this long. I'm just going to kind of let them go out a little bit, and then I need to just go somewhere with Mrs. Nonder and just be like, here, do a manicure for me. Speaking of nails, you going to start the Lego Color nail polish brand? That would be pretty cool. Surely it exists already, right? I think maybe if I do end up painting my nails, should I do like Lego colors or should I just do like one color? I think I'll do it for a sub goal. I think I'll do a sub goal sometime here. I don't know when, but sometime we'll do a sub goal. And I need to clear a space here for me. Sorry. We'll do a sub goal and maybe have them painted on stream or something. Trash colored nail polish. They'll smell like trash too. That'd be like the international symbol for being in the trash mafia. Would be trash colored nails. I recommend getting a glass nail file, never going back to clippers and scissors. I have this one. It's metal though. This is the one I typically use. I was using this right before the stream. I'm still not good at it, I think, because they're all kind of uneven. Like this one's more rounded than the other ones. I need to work on it, but I honestly have not paid so much attention to my let me zoom in a little bit, to my nails than I have in the last like couple months here. Couple weeks. Glass. Huh. I'll have to look into that. Here's R2D2. Whoops. Whoa. I don't know when they started giving R2. So I think it's because his top head is actually kind of chromy. So they started coloring it like a little bit differently than they used to. That's a good figure too. Classic non-abusing droids. Dropped him. That was pretty funny. Pretty funny. Okay, here we go. So we're doing 2 of these. These small pieces, it's really hard to find everything. Looks like we're going to be building the outside here. He hates droids even more than Mando. Yep, it's true. I mean, if you were in the Clone Wars too, you'd hate droids too, so. Good morning, Charles. How you doing? Little known fun fact then, or something that just I don't think occurs to a lot of people. I was watching somebody who was watching the watching Star Wars for the first time, which is one of my favorite things to do, is watch people experience it for the first time, in whatever order. It doesn't matter to me, but they were like taking notes during the whole thing and commenting as they go, and they're like, why does this bar not let droids in there? Like, why are they like, I mean, they were almost kind of like racist towards them. They were like, we don't serve your kind. And everyone's like, yeah, I get it. You guys should just stay outside. They didn't put a big fuss about it. But then fast forward, right? They started watching at, one sec. They started watching at, geez, my throat. Okay, I'm back. They started watching at A New Hope. So now with the context of the prequels, it's like, oh, they don't want droids because of the Clone Wars. They don't like their kind there because of the Clone Wars. Not saying it's right or justifiable, but I think that's why. Isn't that interesting? One thing's for sure, we're all going to be a lot thinner. I think that this line should have actually been, what a wonderful smell you've discovered. That would have been the line I would have put on this one. I understand that they're doing it at the section where it's getting kind of squeezing them in, so that line does make sense. But the better line is what a wonderful smell you've discovered. So, would you recommend any specific order for watching the movies for someone who has never seen it before, or for like someone who just wants to kind of experience it anew? Sounds so pretentious. It's just Star Wars. It is the trash compactor set. Yep. Big trash got him. Let's see. I do have some thoughts, Levi, but I guess it depends on like what you're trying to accomplish. If it is somebody who has never watched Star Wars before, I would say go in the order that they're released. So start with A New Hope. And just experience it the way that, like, I think the majority of people experienced it when they watched it. You get the whole Luke, I am your father moment that I really think is still like, it's still so impactful now, even though like most of the culture like knows about that, right? Like even if you haven't seen Star Wars, you probably know the line, Luke, I am your father, you know, so you probably have some idea that that's going to happen. But it's, if you don't see it coming, it's like, ooh. I like starting with 4 New Hope. I agree. And I understand that it can be kind of confusing for people because they're like, wait, but that's episode 4. But it's like, no, it's not. It's, I actually physically hate the way that happened. Yeah. Lego Pog. How's it going, silly crew? Long time no see. I hate how that all played out. Like, I don't know. George Lucas was always like, oh, I always intended to make other movies before this. And it's like, I don't know if he actually did. I think he wanted it to seem like there was this sprawling epic, and I don't know. And also in the beginning, it wasn't called episode 4. It was just called A New Hope. And then I think or it was just called Star Wars. Sorry. It wasn't even called A New Hope. Strike that from the record. It was just called Star Wars. And keep getting the morning throat stuff. I come bearing sweaty hugs. Ooh, thank you. I had some sweaty hugs yesterday too. So anyway, I don't know. I don't like the way he did that. I think he should have. I don't know. It does make it confusing for new people. I feel bad for people who are just getting into Star Wars for the first time because holy cow, is it hard. There's so much, you know? But yeah, I think just have them start off with the way that it was originally released. Cabbage. And I think it's going to be a lot more easy to understand that way. Cabbage. Yay. Robot hugs. Wait. Charles, do you mean the original, like Star Wars? Standing in line with my family to watch it. That's so cool. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I cannot imagine what it would have been like, especially as a kid, to see that movie for the first time. Like, I think we might take it for granted now, because technology's come such a long way. Around 10, man, your head must have just exploded after that. Because if you take into account the kinds of movies and the type of technology that existed at the time, that was truly groundbreaking. We look back at it now, and it's like, it's kind of like, I don't know, like it doesn't seem like it aged very well, but man, at the time, I think it holds up pretty well even today because of all the miniature use. I think that ultimately looks better on camera for a longer period of time than any kind of CGI you could do, you know? If you're getting into Star Wars, all you need to do is don't watch Phantom Menace. I didn't know that you had Phantom Menace hate in your heart. You definitely need Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace is one of the better ones in the prequel trilogy, even with Jar Jar, right? It's one of the better movies. Episode 3 is the best, but it is one of the better ones. Episode 2 is an abomination. Sorry. As much as I have come around a lot to prequel stuff in my older age, I will never forgive Attack of the Clones. I don't like it. That's just me. I know some of you love it. I don't like it. It's the worst. And you don't have to hate it. I think that's the biggest problem is like a lot of these Star Wars critic guys want everyone to just have their opinion. That it's like if I hate a certain movie or a certain thing, then you have to hate it too, or I'm just incomplete as a human being. I ain't like that, guys. You're allowed to not like things. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would hope that everybody doesn't like certain things for a good reason. You know, if you have good critique, I would hope that you do. Car chase attack in Attack of the Clones was fun. That was kind of fun. Yep. Attack of the Clones just feels so, and it's necessary. Like, I wouldn't tell anyone to skip it. Like, if you're watching them all, you definitely need to watch it. It's necessary. A lot of very important things happen in Attack of the Clones, but also a lot of nonsense. A lot of eye rolling happens in that one. I like the last one ish. The Revenge of the Sith. I mean, even Revenge of the Sith has a couple eye rolling moments for me, but it's so like, I don't know. It at least things are like happening in that, like very important things. I would have wished that they would have slowed down a little bit in that and given us a little bit more time to really like feel the fall to the dark side, but I feel like we didn't really get that. But then other media has kind of come in and helped sort of stand in that gap, I think. It makes me appreciate it more. But nothing, honestly, nothing has made me appreciate Attack of the Clones any more than I did, like, ever. Sorry. I have grown in appreciation for episode 1. I've grown in appreciation for episode 3. Episode 2, I have pretty much stayed fairly consistent on that one. It's not great. Even though Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan is the highlight of that movie specifically and of the whole sequels. I love Ewan McGregor. Guys, I won't say anything spoily about Obi-Wan, but holy crap, is it good. So good. So good. That might be my favorite thing to come out of Star Wars since Star Wars. I've been on the record saying that already, but it's so good. I am very hopeful for this last episode. I hope that they give us, I don't know what I want. I've said this before. I don't know what I want. But if I get what I want, if they stick the landing on this thing, if they Simone Biles this thing, I am just gonna lose my mind. Yeah, silly, like everybody's gonna find something to complain about. That's kind of the problem with the Star Wars fandom in general. They'll always find something to complain about, you know? You gotta just like look at something objectively and say, you know what? Even if all these other guys don't like it, I enjoyed this. I thought this was good. And just kind of brush off everybody else, you know? Because even honestly, even in an objective sense, it's really good. Like, there are some moments, there's some cheesy dialogue, but this is Star Wars we're talking about. You know, there's some moments that are like, whoa, that was quick. Like, without spoiling anything, somebody goes from being like, I'm not going to help you, and literally the next sentence they're like, okay, fine, I'll help you. And it was like, whoa, wait, what? Like, where did that come from? But it's Star Wars. And, you know, like, this isn't that complicated. We're not making an Oscar-nominated thing here. We're just making it's a fun adventure. Like, really is. I have not watched 7 through 9 as a cohesive trilogy. Does it work, or is it too obvious that there wasn't a plan? That is a loaded question, Delicious. It is very, to me, in my opinion, it is very, very obvious that Disney panicked after The Last Jedi, and they 100% retconned the direction they were going for the Rise of Skywalker. It is so obvious, it's painful. Anyone who says that wasn't retconned is I just don't think you can like it, like I said before, it's totally fine to like it. There are aspects of Rise of Skywalker I actually really love. I enjoy. I like that Rey can be a Skywalker. I'm fine with that. There's no issue here with that. I'm also even, okay if she's a Palpatine, whatever. That doesn't faze me. But it was a retcon. It was a total reaction to the fact that the Star Wars fanboys got their feelings hurt. They didn't like what they did with Luke for some reason, even though literally like Obi-Wan Kenobi does the same thing. Yoda does the same thing. Like they all become reclusive hermits after being very powerful Jedi. They just didn't like it. Yeah. Just didn't like it. And trying to think of how I want to say it. If you're not convinced by that, spoilers for Rise of Skywalker. I think it's been plenty of time, but spoilers if you don't want to hear them. They destroy Kylo Ren destroys his helmet in The Last Jedi, which I think was a very cool, poignant moment for him. That's like, I'm holding on to the past. The Last Jedi was all about holding on to the past is not great, right? Becoming a reclusive hermit is the way of the Jedi. Yep. It might have been. He had those books, so it might have been in the ancient texts. But so Kylo Ren destroys his helmet, which I think was him. He's serving this master in a way that like all these other Sith before him have done, and he's realizing that this is not what he wants. So he breaks his helmet. Doesn't mean he's turning into a good guy. He breaks his helmet, right? What do they do within the first couple minutes of the new movie? Not minutes. Like I think it happens a little bit later, but one of the first things that happens is his helmet gets reforged. They put his helmet back together. Okay. Greetings, Master Nonder. Hello, Panda Time Live. How are you? They put his helmet back together, and they literally like can show like you see like the scars in the helmet. So it completely wiped away the whole meaning of him doing that, right? Wait, Clumsy, have you seen Rise of Skywalker yet? Am I spoiling something for you here? I won't keep going until I hear from you, because I know you're recently watching them, right? If you're watching it right now, I'd feel bad like divulging the entire story to you. My mom made me listen to the soundtrack, and it had his name. McGregor was the candlestick in the live-action Beauty and the Beast. He sure was. Yep, he did a good job, too. I just haven't seen the last one. That's Rise of Skywalker. Crap. Do you mind if I spoil the entire thing? I also don't want to color your impression of it, though, too. I want you to come to your own conclusions. I hate how hot Kylo Ren is. Mrs. Nonder agrees with you. Very, very attractive. And yeah. And I get it. I'm confident enough in myself to be like, yeah, I see it. I'm about to just pretty much spoil the entire last movie, Clumsy. So yeah, the worst part of the movie is how dare he? I don't know if, man, Vader is hot. I don't know about that. Adam Driver has no business being as hot as he is in general. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it real quick, Clumsy. Okay, and I will like wave. I'll do a wave when you can come back. Okay. All right, so I'll give you a minute, and then I'll wave when it's time to come back. It won't be long. Let's see. Let's give her a minute, because I really want to say what I need to say, and I don't want to color her expectations of watching it. I want everyone to come to their own conclusions. Okay. So if you haven't seen it and you're thinking about seeing it, then yeah. Okay. Spoiler finger is a thing. Holding up a finger for as long as you're talking spoilers. Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Okay, I think she's muted. All right. I'll wave to the camera when it's done. Okay, so listen. So they reforge his helmet. Ridiculous, right? Like, not the fact that I like the helmet. I think the helmet's cool, but it's like it was so poignant the way that they did that for him letting go of the past. That was the whole reason, the whole thing with The The Last Jedi, okay? Then the Skywalker saber breaks in half after they fight over it. Again, a nod to like, hey, you need to let go of the past. You need to not let it rule you, you know? That was the entire theme of the whole thing was to let go of the past. Anyway, they break the Skywalker saber. What do? They reforge the Skywalker saber, which apparently is a thing you can do. If you're gonna tell me, bro, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna tell me that that's not a retcon. That's kind of a retcon, right? That's a retcon. If I've ever seen a retcon, that's a retcon. Whereas they could have given her the ability to build her own cool double-bladed lightsaber. You know, they could have, but they didn't. Let's see, what else did they do? Okay, so they also, the plan, I'm convinced of this. The plan was that Rey was a nobody, as revealed in the Rise or the Last Jedi. I think that's a great storyline because it shows that the Force can be in anyone. You don't have to come from powerful parents. I think they could have continued to do that and then still said, they could have still said like, they could have still adopted her as a Skywalker, right? I think the storyline where she becomes a Skywalker in name, in family and relationship, I think is great. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. As someone who has adopted myself, beautiful storyline. Excellent. They didn't need to make her a Palpatine. And they kill off the big bad in The Rise of Skywalker. And so, of course, you think like, wow, okay, so Kylo Ren's going to be the big bad guy. But they didn't do that. So they just kind of left. They were like, oh, crap, what do we do now? Now we don't have a big bad guy. And so they retconned that, and they brought back Palpatine. And all they did was say, somehow Palpatine returned. I don't know. We'll talk about it in some books somewhere. We'll deal with that. I think that's fine, again, for Palpatine to come back. They could, if that was the plan all along, he could have come back. All right. I think that's about it. They would have had a whole act of her going on a crystal quest. Yeah. Wait, you adopted yourself? No. Oh, did I say having adopted myself? Yeah, no, having adopted myself. Wait, anyway. Okay. I'm gonna bring her back in, so I won't say any more spoilers. Come back to us. Okay, we're done. There's my rant for now. But yeah. So it was a reactionary to the mad Star Wars fans. I think they caved and they shouldn't have caved. I think there's a very interesting story to have been told in the last movie, and they didn't do it. YouTube break with McGregor? Yeah. Oh, what was it you were saying about McGregor earlier? I might have missed it. We could totally do a YouTube break. That'd be fine. Maybe I should do a YouTube break channel reward or something. Did I get everything? Was I able to at least pay enough attention to this? And welcome back if you're back, Clumsy. I hope you saw the wave. Here, I'll do another wave just in case. I thought he said he was adopted too. Having adopted myself, is that what I said? Having our boy is adopted, guys. I don't know if you could tell when you look at him, being like, where does he get his Hispanic origins? Wasn't for me, and it wasn't for Mrs. Nonder. I don't know if, I guess, have I not really talked that much about that? Maybe I'll talk more about that sometime. Panda's good at twisting words. Okay, dude. I came right back as you said that. Okay, cool. Welcome back. Welcome back. I would very much like to hear how you like Rise of Skywalker, though, Clumsy. I think it has good elements. It's just not my favorite. do, do, do. Definitely, yeah. Keep in mind, like, you know, I was deep into Star Wars stuff at the time of like The Last Jedi, right? So I was really into the Star Wars commentary community at the time. So I got to see the toxicity like firsthand, and it was rough, especially after The Last Jedi. It was rough. They really hated that movie. Like, and if any of you here don't like that movie, that's completely fine. Don't get me wrong. I think just some of the reasons why certain people didn't like that movie was a little, yeah. It was from me. It's the genes. Yeah. I guess, does your mom have Hispanic genes in her? That's possible, right? There might be a little bit there. I was watching so many of those videos of the like reactionary Star Wars takes, or I hope not. Oof. It's the genes. I don't. I don't think it's the the GEA. I don't know. Was your brother showing you those, or were you actively seeking them out yourself? I wear my jeans. I wear my jeans on my legs and my heart on my sleeve. I was big into that side of YouTube at the time. It was not good. Really? I did not know that. Yeah, so I mean, you can probably see firsthand just the... I don't know how to explain it. It's so weird. It's connected to so many other things. Yeah. It was a weird time. It still is kind of a weird time. But luckily, I mean, I knew from the beginning. I was watching that stuff, but I was also watching it to be like, I don't agree with this. I don't think this is right. Like, I don't like what they're saying. Like, I might even agree, like, on certain aspects of it, but then it's like the way that they say it and the conclusion that they come to, right? I think if any of you are in here are like, I didn't like the sequel trilogy as a whole because I thought there wasn't great character development. I thought that there wasn't good follow through. I thought there wasn't a good plan for the trilogy. I thought it was a little cheesy. I didn't like Canto Bight, you know, all those. I think those are all valid criticisms. But if you're in here saying, I don't like the sequel trilogy because it's too woke and it includes too many women for my like, that's not gonna fly here. That's not a good Star Wars take. We talked about good Star Wars takes already, you know? So you are more than welcome to like it on, or dislike it on the basis of like, you know, that you just didn't think they were good films. That's totally cool, you know? Post Ship was cool. The Red X-Wing. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's totally a red flag. Yeah, totally. So I don't want anybody to think that like I'm like, you have to love Star Wars in order to be a good person. Absolutely not. It's a space opera about magic wizards with laser swords. You know, let's not take it too seriously. Orange and Black. Poe's ship is Orange and Black. Orange and Black is a cool color scheme, isn't it? Poe and Finn are definitely my favorites from the sequels. Yeah, I liked them too. I think the final trilogy story was just incoherent. It didn't really flow. I agree with you 100%. 100%. It's kind of a mess. And it doesn't make me mad, guys. Like, it just makes me sad. Like, it makes me sad that we could have had something really unique, really good, that told a very interesting story that we haven't seen from Star Wars yet. That basically anyone can be a Jedi. The way that The Last Jedi ends is so powerful. It's so powerful with like Rey discovering her power and like lifting the rocks, right? And helping her friends. And then with the ending shot being so different from any other one in the trilogy, where it ends on a little boy that helped them at Canto Bight, and you had no idea, but this boy just uses the Force and calls the broom to his hand and then stands there. Like, that's so cool. Like, come on. It was such a big message that they were trying to get across, that like the Force is alive. It's out there. It's affecting people. People are able to tap into it. And you don't have to be from a special family in order to be a powerful Jedi. That's beautiful. Like, that's such a good message. And they just crapped all over it. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, that is still true, but it wasn't true for our... I gotta be careful what I say here for clumsy. But yeah, it wasn't true for where it mattered the most. Where it would have had the most impact, it didn't end up being true. So it's just sad. I literally just get sad. Like, that's the only emotion. Not anger, not hatred, just sadness, you know? The little boy was so good, right? Right, Clumsy? What a especially since you've seen like all the other Star Wars now, and the way that they tend to end on like the main cast, right? All the cast is together and they're like, yay, we did it. The way they ended that was just so it just was saying something so interesting. And then they're just like, well, there you go. I thought Rey was good, but they rushed her growth in the Force. It's like she was suddenly able to go toe-to-toe with Ren early in number 1. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty valid criticism. However, I also think that in a story where you only have, you know, like 3 movies worth of development and you want to create conflict, I think it's pretty telling. I also don't think I agree fully that she like went toe to toe. So a couple of things just happened. He killed his father. Does this go on here? Yeah, he killed his father. He's got that emotional baggage going on there. He got hit with a Wookiee's bowcaster from who we also have to consider was probably his friend at some point, right? How hard was that for Chewie, right? And we have seen throughout the movie that bowcaster basically flinging people away. Like when you hit somebody with the bowcaster, they go flying. So Kylo Ren absorbed that hit and didn't go flying off the side. That's impressive. So he's wounded, deeply, deeply wounded. I think that if he was in his proper form, fighting form, having not had gone through an emotional thing right there, and then also not being hit with that, I don't think Rey would have been able to put up a fight. But also, the only reason she was able to sort of overpower him at the end was she finally realized that she had the Force, and that Force awoken within her and helped her hold him back. So I think there was a couple of factors there. On surface level, you can kind of be like, yeah, that was a little, yeah. What made me love Luke was how his powers developed over a couple movies. So, I mean, you could say relatively the same thing about Luke, right? So he didn't really use the lightsaber in A New Hope at all. He goes to see Yoda. Yoda doesn't train him in a lightsaber. Yoda trains him in the Force because that's the most important part of that, right? So he then faces off against Vader and, arguably you could say Vader didn't want to kill him because he knows at this point who he is, right? Vader doesn't want to kill him. So you could argue that Vader's toying with him. I think you could argue that Kylo Ren was toying with her too. Like, didn't really know who she was, wasn't really attempting to kill her. He just wanted the lightsaber. But, these are all things that is like, it's from a different point of view. They're all aspects of it. No one here is like right or wrong, But I think that they didn't rush her growth in the Force any more than they did anyone else in Star Wars history, We haven't really gotten to see a good growth. And it almost seems like the Force isn't something you really like have to train that hard. You almost have to train in order to tap into it. And once you can tap into it, the rest of the stuff the force kind of helps you get to that point. The way I understood it is the force can be wielded, but can also flow and guide you without you at the helm. Yeah, which would explain Rey's just feeling what she needed to do to be able to survive Ren injured or not. Yeah. But that being said, I can totally understand where you're coming from, Charles. And I think that they needed to be a little bit more obvious in stating those kind of things, and I think that would have probably helped. But I don't think it was any more jarring than just about any other force development in the history, you know. It is really once you are able to tap into the force, that's the important part. And that's what Yoda was trying to teach Luke. He wasn't trying to teach Luke how to flip around with the lightsaber. He was just trying to teach him how to tap into the force, you know. I wonder, does it take longer to master the force or master the saber? The way that they're kind of yeah, cabbage. The way that they're kind of building it on the Disney side is that like lightsabers are kind of a conduit for the force a little bit. Like they actually might have some force in errancy about them in general. Like they might be, I think the Kyber crystals are sort of attached to the force. So I think that's what they're kind of going with. So I think the more you master the force, the more you do naturally master the lightsaber, I think, but I don't know, anybody's guess. Panda, Isaac, and I use lightsabers to do that Rey, Finn, and Kylo fight. Nice. Yeah, the crystals are like conduits to the Force. Yeah. That's as far as I understand it. I don't think they've said that, but I think the way that the Skywalker saber was kind of calling to Rey, and awoken some memories in her when she touched it, I think that's the implication. They're kind of maybe making you see lightsabers more as magic wands that sort of help a wizard focus their power. And that could also explain why somebody with very minimal like dueling training could potentially pull up a lightsaber and be able to at least defend themselves for a while. Might take a little longer to become a master, but at least defend themselves. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Those are some more Star Wars hot takes, I guess. Okay, where does this go? It's so weird to me how I can like, there's so much in Star Wars that every week here it seems like we devolve into Star Wars talk. Not devolve. That's a bad word. That's not a very descriptive word for what I mean. We kind of like always go into Star Wars talk, and it feels like there's always something new to talk about. That's pretty cool. Or a new way to see things from a certain point of view. All right. We're making good progress here. To me, it looks like this is the back wall. And then there's two walls here. And then basically probably just some more greebles, you know? Greeblies. If you had a lightsaber, what color would it be? That is such a hard question for me, man. I like the idea that when you're kind of going on your quest to build your lightsaber, which I think we do need. Somebody mentioned that earlier. I think we do need like a cool like lightsaber quest line in Star Wars media, because we haven't seen it directly. It's always done off screen. But I think a cool idea is the fact that like the Force picks for you, sort of like Harry Potter's wand. Like the wand picks you. So I feel like the color should pick the user. And so on that front, like I would say like, I don't know, whatever the Force wants me to have. But that being said, I'm partial to the blue. The blue's classic. I like that blue color. I know I have the green one behind me, but it's because there was so much blue going on that I had to I had to like break it up. There's a blue one over there, but it would be blue, or I'm really liking yellow. I won't spoil that. I was happy to see yellow. I think yellow is a great, and orange is also really cool. I just think there's something about that. There's something about that color that is really doing it for me lately. I like it a lot. That goes there. Are saber colors based off personality or just because they look cool? I think originally it was just because, hey, bad guy has this color, good guy has this color, you can tell them apart. As far as like the development of the movie goes, right? So it was blue and red, right? Blue and red. And then I'm kind of doing this like this. Okay. And then in Return of the Jedi, little known fun fact, Return of the Jedi, the reason the lightsaber was green, you'll notice here, I don't know if you can see it here, but right here in the Return of the Jedi, you see his lightsaber there? Right there, it's blue. So in a lot of the marketing, his lightsaber was blue. But then when they started getting into cutting the movie and editing and adding in lightsaber, they noticed that a blue lightsaber, in the way that they used to do it, clashed with the sky, and you couldn't see the lightsaber. So they had to make it green. That's why a lot of the promo stuff for Return of the Jedi, it's blue, but they had to make it green. So all of a sudden you have a new lightsaber color, right? Then Mace Windu comes along. So at that point you just had red, green, and blue. That was it. And the idea was the kind of thing they were going with. Of course, red is Sith, blue is sort of apprentice, younger Jedi, and then green was a master, right? That wasn't the established canon, but that was kind of like what was understood at the time. Look at that. Okay, so Mace Windu's lightsaber was purple simply because he went to George Lucas and said, hey, can I have a purple lightsaber? And I mean, when he comes up to you and asks that, what are you going to say but yes? But that's literally the only reason why. Yeah. Mace Windu was given a purple lightsaber because he asked for it. Samuel L. Jackson walks up to you and says, hey, I want a purple lightsaber. And you go, okay. And that's exactly what went down. He said, yep. And there you go. You can't say no to Samuel L. Jackson when he asks you something like that. Absolutely not. Yeah, so that is honestly the story. So from there, now we're starting to get new colors of lightsabers, right? And then as the canon progresses, there are different lightsaber colors that get introduced. So then, of course, you got to have some kind of canon explanation, right? So there are some cool videos you can go out and watch on YouTube where basically different lightsaber colors do mean different things. It is the intention that I don't remember them all off the top of my head, so forgive me, but you can go watch hours of content about this. But a blue would mean a certain thing. It kind of means you're adept in the Force in a certain way. You have a certain quality about you. Like for the yellow was kind of say what one more time, George Lucas. The yellow is supposed to be for like a guardian, right? There's a lot of lore around that. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I apologize, but there is lore around like the color of your lightsaber expresses a certain characteristic about you, and those are all listed. Sort of like the sorting houses in Harry Potter. Sort of like that, yeah. But yeah, I don't want to become a lore video here, so we won't get into it. You can go watch those if you want. But yeah, they do tend to mean different things, which is why typically you don't choose the color of your lightsaber. You go out and find a kyber crystal, and you may or may not know what color the blade will end up being. Now, red crystals are interesting because, again, they're conduits of the Force, right? Like we talked about earlier. So when people start going bad and they try to build a lightsaber while focused in on the dark side, those lightsaber crystals tend not to like that. They tend to kick back on that. And when that happens, a lot of them crack, a lot of them break and become unstable. But most of them, or I would say some of them crack and become unstable, depending on how unstable the user is. In either side, maybe they're kind of clinging to both sides, so they might come unstable. But most of the time, they will express themselves with a red color. That's exactly why Kylo's saber is so shaky. It's so unstable. Because he is a very unstable Force user. He's very powerful, but he's very conflicted. And he's probably one of the most conflicted characters in all of Star Wars. Which is why that brings out just such an unstable. Whereas Vader, he's pretty dang evil by the time he creates his lightsaber, and he's very angry, but he's very stable. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. He's very, very stable. And that's why his blade comes out still blood red, because his anger just really inflicts itself on that crystal, but is very bright and stable. So that's supposed to kind of be the lore around the universal lore around why all the bad guys have red lightsabers. Yes, it's because they look cool, but also because if a lightsaber is a conduit for the Force, when you're building one as a dark side user, you're going to end up with, it's going to be red. It is. And I think that's a pretty cool explanation. I like when they do personality-based stuff in media, mostly because I have a hard time choosing same here. That's why I say, like, those are my two color preferences. But honestly, like, I wish if you went to, like, Disneyland and built your lightsaber, I wish there was an option to just let the Force decide your color. Because that's probably what I would do. And then I would just be like, this is the color. This is the color that the Force gave me, and I'm happy with it, you know, no matter what that would be. So, because really, like, so I got my nephews here lightsabers for their birthday, and they're the ones that you can change the color to anything you want, which is super cool. And so I actually, like, every single color I think had like redeeming qualities to it, you know. And I could see myself using just about any of those colors. They were all pretty cool. Dude, if I got a purple saber, I would be so mad. I would be too mad. Purple is kind of nice. Purple was also the color of one of my favorite expanded universe or Legends canon characters. One Anakin Solo. Anakin Solo was one of the children of Han and Leia. And he had a purple lightsaber, which I thought was pretty dope. Favorite character in the Legends lore. Very, very sad character, very tragic. I was a very, very mad when, I guess this is probably like not spoilers. These are things that are not canon anymore, but he dies. They kill him like pretty brutally. It's pretty sad, but it also sets a chain of events that turns out to be pretty cool. And one of Han's other kids, Jason Solo, not Jason, not Jason, Jason, I think it's just Jason. He turns to the dark side, and it's pretty cool because of course he's mad about stuff. And he's honestly, Kylo Ren reminds me a lot of that character. So Cruz is orange. The orange is very cool. That's a great color. Great color. I'm just very interested to see more like yellow and orange, different types of lightsaber colors in our media. Hopefully we'll get some of that sometime soon. I think that'd be cool. Whoop, out of focus there, sorry. There we go. Jason, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a cool arc, but at what cost? I was devastated. I was devastated. I at that age was my imagination was wild, still is, but I identified with that character so much because he was around my age. They had a whole series. Called the Young Jedi Knight series. And it was all about Anakin Solo and his friends in Luke's Jedi Academy, getting trained by Luke. Very, very Harry Potter-esque adventures, for the time that he was there. And he grows up, and you follow him through all these other books, and everything's great, and it's wonderful, and he's a great character. He's very compassionate. He's kind. He doesn't really struggle with the dark side that much, not like other people do. But he does struggle with being a grandson of Vader, obviously, as they all do. I think was there a book called The Grandchildren of Vader? I think that kind of explained that, but I like saying Jaken. I think it's just, it was in a book, so I never heard it out loud, but I think it would be just Jason. It sounds weird when you say, like, a Star Wars character's name is Jason, but maybe it was Jaken. I don't know. I don't know. That sounds weird, too. Star Wars names are weird. It's weird what feels Star Wars versus what doesn't, Okay, it looks like we're building the sidewall. That's going to come in on this. It's all coming together. You know what I would love to do if we finish this early? I shouldn't say it because we probably won't be able to finish it early. I would love to play some more Jedi Knight this morning. Man, that game is hard, but I'm having such a good time with that. It's wild. What am I looking for? I'm looking for one of these little... There it is. I love how Lucas was all, bad guys are red, good guys are blue and green, and Jackson was just like, can I have a purple one? And Lucas basically went, sure. Yep. I think that's awesome. All right, silly. Have a good day. Go have fun with your friends. Your friends are cooler than I am. It's okay. I'm used to it. Yeah, and I think by the point Mace Windu was in there and had a lightsaber, I think Lucas was kind of toying with the idea of like, okay, maybe there needs to be some sort of lore reason for people to have certain lightsabers. Maybe we could work that out, but I don't think Lucas was super big into lore. I think he left that up to other people to kind of fill in the blanks for him. I think that's what he was best at. He's like, I'll throw this out there. You all find a reason that it makes sense. And that's how you get people like Dave Filoni, who is a lore genius. And the guy knows more about Star Wars than I ever will. And he might single-handedly be like the reason why we're getting such good Star Wars stuff right now. As much as... hopefully this won't hurt anybody's feelings. As much as I didn't really like the Clone Wars cartoon that much. There was some good stuff, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But overall, I wasn't like super impressed with it. Probably because I'm a full-on adult by the time that was out. Like, and I know that was definitely for some kids. Speaking of which, Clumsy, did you start watching Clone Wars yet? Oh, looks like this needs to go in one more. Oh, you want to create more stuff that generates money for me? Go ahead. Yep. That was basically his mentality for the expanded universe, which is now Legends. If I ever say expanded universe, I mean Legends. It was just called expanded universe at the time. So even Lucas himself was like, yeah, it's canon, but if I ever wanted to come and do a movie like after this, then obviously I'd just wipe the canon clean. So that if Lucas would have kept Star Wars and done his own thing, the canon, the expanded canon would have been wiped anyway. For sure, because he wouldn't use anybody else's ideas for sure. He wouldn't have done Heir to the Empire. As much as people love that, he wouldn't have done that. I need to re-watch or re-listen to Heir to the Empire because it's been a long time. Long time since I've read that. Ooh, I should get that on audiobook. I have so many Audible credits, guys, that I don't know what to do with. So please give me your Audible suggestions. Maybe we should just go ahead and get an Audible sponsorship, right? Oh, okay. This goes on this side too. By the way, it's Sussy's brother. Who's Sussy's brother? They're already gone, but I don't know what they're talking about. Those are my nephews, by the way. Silly Crew and Panda Time Live. Those are my nephews. And these Zoomers, I don't know half of what they're talking about anymore. I'm sorry. I'm getting old, guys. It's hard to keep up. I think being on TikTok has helped. I feel like I've kept a better pulse on... Oh, this didn't go there. That's why. Oops. I feel like I've kept a better pulse on like what's hip, even if I don't do it myself. Just by being on somewhere like TikTok, but it's still exhausting. It's still not because of them, just because like it's exhausting keeping up, you know? You get to a certain age and you're like, okay, all right, I think I'm done. I think I'm just going to throw in the towel and say I don't understand these kids anymore. I'm going to go full boomer. And that's just going to have to be okay. Okay. Excellent. Moving right along. It is already 8:10, so I fully expect that we'll probably only be able to do this morning. I don't think we'll have enough time for anything else. It's usually around about 9 o'clock or so is when the boy wakes up, when we get our day started. I always have such high hopes that like, oh, I'll finish this one quick and we can play more games, but that doesn't typically happen, but that's okay. I've been thinking about Jedi Knight for like the last couple of days since we played it on Thursday, and I'm like, you know what? Like, that's a nice challenging game. Giving me some like Dark Souls vibes. I really need to play Fallen Order again, but now I want to finish Jedi Knight before we go into Fallen Order. It's like I gotta hurry up here. My boomer age is at find out what it means, but we'll never know why. Yeah, so at least you're not lost, but like you also are kind of like, okay, like I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. That kind of stage. Okay. Oops. Who? What do you guys have? What plans do you have for the weekend? Charles, you're playing Shipbreaker. Shipbreaker is great. That finally came out of beta, didn't it? I bought that when it was in beta. I should check that out again. Hard Space Shipbreaker, I think it's called. On Steam. I wonder what they've added since I played. I saw Willem play it with the timers off. Looked somewhat meditative. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, those like Power Wash Simulator kind of game, where it's like you got a job to do and you just kind of like focus on that job. Sort of like that. Absolutely meditative. That's cool. There's back before I started streaming on Saturday mornings, that was one of my favorite things to do, is to pull up a game that I was into like that and then put like a YouTube video on or Netflix or something like that and just kind of like get into this state of just, I don't, yeah, meditative is a good word for it, I think. I love that. I don't do that enough anymore. I have time to do it. Like there are some times during the week where I could do it, but more often than not, I just kind of want to chill with the wife and turn my brain off for a while. Weekend plans. Special stream for virtual main stage radio show tonight. Hopefully sparring tomorrow. Other than that, more Man Eater. What's Man Eater? Man eater. You gonna eat men? No judgment, but pool day and Father's Day at the parents. Oh yes, Father's Day is coming up. Happy Father's Day to all y'all. If you are a daddy out there, happy Father's Day. I think we're gonna do something fun on Father's Day as long as it pans out. Man eat. Oh, it's that shark game. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I saw DJ played that a while back. That actually looks really fun. That's a good concept. We're going to try to do something pretty fun for Father's Day. We are going to attempt, for the first time ever, to go to the Legoland Discovery Center here in, like, Dallas area. I don't remember exactly where it is, but somewhere here in Dallas. I have never been because they require you can't just be an adult and just go in there. Normally they do have adult times where they're like, okay, it's basically like no kids allowed. And I understand why, because like it's a place full of kids and you just don't want creepy adults kind of creeping around. So they have a time where it's like, okay, this is a time where adults can come, but they also are like, you can come if you have a child, you know, like bring your son or your daughter. So we think he's old enough that we can at least go through the Lego Discovery Center together and just see some cool Lego stuff. So I think we're going to do that on Father's Day, which I think sounds like an excellent idea. It was Mrs. Nonder's idea, and I was just like, yeah, that's great. That's what I like about Shipbreaker. It's one of those games you can just shut off the brain. Yeah, exactly. I do enjoy games like that. Those are great. Where you have like a purpose in mind to do. You can also see your progress. You can kind of step back and be like, wow, I did that. Like that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, you can put on a YouTube video, you put on some Netflix, you could put on a stream, stuff like that. I think that's awesome. I did that with Destiny 2 for a while, back when I was grinding Destiny 2 daily activities. Like, I both like it and hate it at the same time. It's so addictive. So addictive. It does sound like fun, right? They're having a block party on the street with a big sound system, DJ and stuff. And I'm hearing, all I'm hearing though is a DJ screaming into the mic all the time. No music, not even bass thumping. Wow, that's lame. You should have been like, step aside. Let me show you how it's done. Block parties are so cool. We did one of those here in our neighborhood before COVID, and it was actually very nice. It was very wholesome. I got to meet a lot of neighbors. I'm not notoriously like outgoing. Like, I don't mean that I'm like not nice. I just don't think that like, hey, I should go check on the neighbor, you know? But I got to meet a lot of the neighbors. It was really nice. Put the speakers on the balcony and blast it down to them. Yeah. I did that a lot with Genshin, but can't because of space. Well, with your new space, your new storage, though, will you be able to get Lego Star Wars Plus? Seems like mostly the black people might be wrong thing to do. You don't want to mock them, right? Boom, 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 boom. You don't want to offend anybody. Oh, that's weird. There's a little gap there. I wonder if that's supposed to happen. You want to be like, let me show you how it's done. White boy coming up with a USB stick and headphones. Step aside. Let me show you how to do it. That's a fun image. Yeah. Yeah. Step aside. Oops. Lego Star Wars Plus. You won't be able to get Lego Star Wars Plus Genshin with your new storage solution. You said you got like a terabyte, right? I'm thinking if you're still waiting on your brother to do that, you should just do a YouTube video and do it yourself. I think you could do it. I think I think you could do it and you probably wouldn't break anything. Probably. Just watch a lot of YouTube tutorials and I bet you you could figure it out. Oh, come on. Get in there. But you know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, yeah. That's funny. I know Kung Fu. Just the USB stick thing made me laugh. USB stick and headphones. You got like what kind of headphones do you rock? What's your favorite headphones? I actually would like to know that from you, Nitalicious. I'm really into headphones. I'd like to get a new pair. I probably have too many. I'd like it. I honestly I hate myself for it, but I kind of want the AirPod Max. I don't need them. I've heard they're even not like the for like the audio files. They're really not that great sounding. Like they're not extraordinary. They look so good. My brother's sick right now, so I don't want him anywhere near the thing I spend the most time around. Okay, touche. I hope he gets better. Being sick sucks. Look at that wall. Isn't that cool? Camera's kind of artifacting a little bit, isn't it? Huh. Oh, it's just the way the light is hitting this section of the wall. Do you see that? Or is it just me? And is my image just really sharp? Hang on, let me see. Let me expand it a little bit. See how there's like this weird artifacting around the lines here? Kind of looks pixelated. That's interesting. I use a pair of in-ear monitors at home. I bought a set of I don't know how to pronounce that, for DJing out, because in-ears are not convenient to pop in and out. True, because those are the ones that like go like around your ear and like into your ear canal. AirPod Max, from what I hear, is just super expensive version of other headphones that are better. See, that's what I've heard too. It's just I hate Apple sometimes. I hate how beautiful Apple makes products, because they aren't like top of the line like quality, like audio wise, but yet like the whole ecosystem is just so convenient. I hate it. I hate it so much. Man, ever since I switched back to iPhone, I feel like I've just become I've become an Apple shill again, and I just want everything Apple within reason. Because I did get, so when I got my iPhone, I got handed down a pair of AirPods, the like Gen 1 AirPods. And I was like, AirPods, like who cares? Like these don't, but really, I like them. And it's more for just like the convenience and the way that it like integrates in with the system, and it's so flawless. Just pop them in and they just, and I know that there's other earbuds that work better, but there's just something about the way the whole ecosystem works together that it really works for me. It's really, really nice. Wait a minute. There should be a longer, oh, it's this. Bose was noise canceling kings, but that throne is currently held by Sony in my head. Yeah, so noise canceling. So because I work at home most of the time, I don't find myself needing noise canceling. However, if I ever start traveling again, and I'm in an airplane or something, totally need those. So in my mind, I'm not looking for headphones that are great at noise canceling. I'm looking for comfort. I'm looking for something that I can wear for hours and probably all day, really. Like all day. I want good comfort. I want there to be like, these are open back headphones, which for streaming are super important for me, because I have this weird thing where if I don't hear my voice, if it's covered, even just covering myself like this, I feel like if I can't hear my voice, I start to stutter and I get all in my head about it. So I'm actually not even really concerned about noise canceling at the end of the day. I'm more just like, I like a good aesthetic, and I like comfort and good sound. You know, those are pretty important to me. Oops. Get over here. Sony MX3 for trips with the noise canceling, but I'm tempted to buy the MX5 because I heard they're better. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, then AirPods, whatever, might actually be the right choice. Yeah, I think I used to be an Android. I used to be an Android bro. I don't know what you'd call it. And I still have a warm place in my heart for Android. I started on the original G1, the very first Android phone. I was an early adopter. I know Android in and out. I've rooted and hacked Android. I've done all sorts of things. Android Andy, there you go. But just, I used an iPhone back in like 2016, 2017 when the first, like the big phone came out, because that was one of my biggest gripes is like, I'd probably use an iPhone if it was like, if the screen size was bigger. So they came out with like the plus versions of things. That's when I switched over originally and liked it. Then went back to Android for a while because I like the customization in Android. And decided this time I was just bored. I was bored, and I was up for a renewal. It's the phone I'm using for this right now, and it's an iPhone 13, just the regular. Like I don't need Max or Pro or anything like that. Good size phone. Everything works real good. And what has gotten me this time has been that whole ecosystem. The fact that I was given a pair of AirPods, so I didn't have to buy them, and seeing how that worked. I was also not really given, but I traded up for an iPad Pro, and seeing how iMessage and FaceTime and stuff all just seamlessly integrates across I almost feel like they got me. Hey, what's up, Dutch? How you doing? Dutch Daddy does. Good morning. How are you? More Lego. We're doing the trash compactor. Here's what she looks like so far, if you've missed it. Look how pretty. Yeah. This one's neat. Lots of cool details here. Clumsy says, same with me. I stream and voice chat with the headphones half off. So if you do that, Clumsy, check into, just look for open back headphones. Oh, you did pick up the Link Buds? I was really interested in those. Let me know what you think about the Link Buds. I was interested in those because, again, I've got like this whole, I need to sort of have open back headphones. Those were the ones that I was kind of interested in that weren't Apple based, just because they're such a unique design. And so many people are worried about like isolating noise. And in certain circumstances, you need that. But in like everyday stuff, like here in the office, I don't need that. I want to be able to, like, somebody comes in and says, hi, I'm not drowning them out, you know? I just got the headset I have right now. I can't be looking for new ones. Okay, touche. But that is why I have these. These, I don't like this. I don't like this ring up here. It's actually my least favorite part, but these are Audio Technica. I don't even remember the brand. But you can kind of see. You can see through this. I don't know if you can see my thumb there, the light. But basically, it allows airflow through this. It's all open. So I can hear myself talk just about as well as I can with them on. It also makes music feel like it's in the room with you and not just in your head. But I don't really listen to music too much. These are really only for streaming, pretty much. Very pretty trash. Yeah, this has been the trash stream. We learned a lot about trash this morning. And that was fun. Oh, thank you. I got this at Target the other day. They had these on sale for like $9. So, of course, I finally got a shirt that isn't just a solid black. It's still black because, you know, body issues. But PS1, man, I am a PlayStation fan for sure. I will hopefully be able to play some PlayStation games soon because I do have a capture card. I'm finding myself without time, guys. Like, finding a time to do everything that I want to do has just been so hard lately, especially with a kid, because you also want to spend time with him, you know? Speaking of dads and daddies, happy Father's Day. We were talking about it earlier before you came in, Dutch, so I'm assuming you're a dad because it's in your name. or is it the daddy? Am I misinterpreting the daddy? Could be. It could be. It will be on Sunday. On Sunday. So tomorrow. Oh, do you have Father's Day over there? Or is it like at a different time? Or do you not have holidays like that? It's not like an official holiday. It's always on a Sunday. I'm definitely a dad. Okay, cool. I assumed, but you know what they say about assuming things. I was gonna say it's tomorrow here. I thought it was today there. Oh, geez, yeah, no, it's okay, yeah. So you do have it. It's just because of the time frame is weird. I'll get back to you on the link buds. I need to try them at the office and out of walks with the doggo, but fitting it has been weird. Right ear is definitely an M, but left ear is M to XL depending on the time of day. That's interesting. So one of the things I know about like the AirPods that I got is when I first put them in, I was like, these are the most uncomfortable headphones I have ever used, and I hate them. And I was Googling it, like, why are these so uncomfortable? These are horrible. And everyone's like, you get used to it. And I'm like, really? They were right. They don't hurt my ears at all now. I can have them in like almost all day. It's just they're Gen 1s, so I know I need to upgrade them eventually. Which is why I thought like doing like the Maxes would be nice, but they're so expensive. They're so expensive. I think they switched DJs. You're hearing music and no screaming. Okay, cool. Wet ears after practice wasn't conducive to fitting. Yeah. Oh, I'd also like to know the water resistance. I enjoy wearing at least one headphone in the shower so that I can listen to stuff while I take a shower. Most of the time I don't have them with me now. Where are those? Actually, I think they might be upstairs. Yeah. I use those Raycon that Raycon marketing got to me eventually. I used a YouTuber's promo code for that. And they're good, but they're completely water protective. So like, and they seal in your ear. Those are more noise canceling than anything else. So I wear those in the shower. That's pretty much for the shower and mowing. I have those because I do need I do need that noise protection for mowing and whatnot. Does anyone else have problems with earbuds staying in the ear? I sold mine because they didn't fit and kept falling out while walking. Which ones, like AirPods or just any in general? So most good in-ear headphones like that will come with a set of different sizes of fittings that you can use to kind of pop in a new one and see how it feels in your ear. So if they were falling out, yeah, the AirPods I could totally see falling out of different shaped ears. 100%. The AirBuds. AirBuds is a fun movie. I could totally see those popping out of your ear relatively easily. Because they are one size fits all, but most other ones, you might want to look into the AirPod Pros because those are kind of more like the noise canceling ones that go into your ear canal and they help grip a little bit more. But then of course you don't have, that is active, like that is noise canceling, you have that feeling of like, I don't know, like your ear being full basically. Mrs. Nonder has a pair of Pros and I don't feel like she uses them that much. So I'm just saying like maybe she should give them to me. If she's on right now, she's gonna be like, "Hey." She uses we got these over-the-ear headphones by Skull Crusher. You know that company, Skull Crusher? They made these ones years ago that actually have a motor inside of them, and they pulse with the bass, so you feel the bass in your head, and they're like, oh, they're actually really really cool. I have a pair of those, but I feel like the bass in mine broke, and I've snapped a couple of those. But for me, she can wear them for hours. I could only wear those for like 30-40 minutes. I have the Galaxy earbuds, and those are so lovely. Not fully noise canceling, but they're much nicer than the other ones I've tried. Nice. I've heard good things about Galaxy earbuds. Yeah. The shape of your ears might determine if you can wear them at all. Absolutely, yeah. Have you seen the fitting system? Oh, you're talking about Link Buds. I haven't seen the fitting system. No, I might have to look at that. Wow, so those are really like you're gonna have to have a certain ear shape in order to actually even use them at all. I guess that's one of the downsides of making it so making it the way that they did. It's not gonna be one size fits all, you know. But the Link Buds are the only ones that have been kind of tempting me outside of Apple products lately. Because I think that's such a great idea, and it feels like it was made for somebody like me. I tell you what, I would get them. I would actually probably get them in a heartbeat without much thought if I could hook them up to my Go XLR. The problem is Go XLR has just like the, these are wired. So it has that headphone jack on it. And there is a way that I could get like a Bluetooth transmitter and plug that in, but then that has to be connected to power. So that's another thing running. And then I've heard there's some latency issues when you're gaming with stuff like that, because you have to go from your PC to the Go XLR to the Bluetooth output to your ear. There can be just a little bit of latency issues with that. So I didn't pull the trigger on that for that reason. If I did have a way to get Bluetooth on the Go XLR, I would probably just be using the AirPods. But yeah. Sometimes I do have a pair of wired Apple headphones that I use occasionally, but usually for Lego, I have to have this going around further, so I can't wear those. But for gaming, I have sometimes used those. I'm not like a huge audiophile. For me, like I can't tell the difference in most headphones. Obviously, there's some that are pretty obvious, but in most, I can't really tell a difference. And I know other people can. So for me, it is all going to be about comfort. And if I'm looking for noise canceling, how well the noise canceling does. And if I'm not looking for noise canceling, then how much can I hear outside of that, you know? Because I just cannot talk. If I have headphones in that are cutting off my ear here, I wouldn't be able to speak. That's why there's no gaming headsets are all about like noise isolating, and I can't wear those when I stream, because if I'm going to talk at the same time, I'm lost. Oops. Oh, did I do this wrong? I sure did. Okay, let's swap that around. Oops. I did this all wrong. Why did no one tell me? You probably can't see half of what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. They require you to have a pronounced flare in your ear, okay? Cauliflower ears would be a no-go, and it's most likely why I have different sizes on each side, because my ears have taken different amounts of external damage. Not cauliflower, but not untouched, yeah. I can't do on-ear. I need over-ear because of the glasses, yep, and sometimes over-ears get uncomfortable as well. Yeah, glasses and headphones, man, I feel for you. Oops. Okay, you come back this way. There you go. There you go. Little pipe attaching to the wall. That's cool. I have worn a pair of Bose on ears, and again, I don't have glasses, but they've actually been super comfortable. I like the way they kind of seal, but not in the same way as not in the same way as the ones that like fit into your ears. But I could totally see those having problems with glasses. In-ears are best for glasses, hence the IEMs at home. Yeah. I was thinking about getting a good pair of in-ear monitors for streaming. But most of those go in and kind of seal off, and I feel like I'm going to have that problem where I'm not going to be able to hear myself speak, and I will slur, and it won't be great, Does anybody else have that issue? Like, if you have headphones on that are sealing, and even if you're on like a phone call, you just can't have a conversation that way. These ones I have for work. These are a Microsoft Surface headphones, specifically designed for Teams. So we use Microsoft Teams where I work, and these are pretty good. These are on ear. You can see they don't go over. These are on. And they're okay. They're not the greatest. They're okay. I'll just slur. I think some people don't have the problem. Some people, when I've told them that, are like, that's weird. I don't have that issue at all. But it's definitely an issue for me. Yeah. So Clumsy's the same way. I can't do full noise canceling because of CPTSD. I get spooked very easily. Yeah, I could totally see that. You're going to want to hear what's going on around you so nobody comes up and, like, shocks you. Yeah. I have to unplug to hear Dr. Licious talk to me. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I like about this. You know, if Mrs. Nonder walks in, then, you know, I can hear the door open. Even if I'm playing a loud game, I can hear it open. If she says something to me, I can hear it. If the boy screams up here for me to come get him out of his bed, there's an air vent right there. I can hear that. It's pretty nice. And the sound is good. Like these Audio Technicas, they're a little expensive. I think they're around $100. So Complex. Is it for Complex? Mrs. Nonder's kind of that way. I don't think she has CPTSD, but I have to be careful. If she has headphones on or something, and I've come into the room sort of silently, she can get spooked. You probably have it worse. I think she's just easily spooked, you know? I'm not sure where that comes from. Who knows? Yeah, Complex. That sucks. Probably is like hard to relax, right? To kind of let yourself, let your guard down, right? Yeah, this one. Oops, I didn't go back to the Lego view. Sorry, guys. I've been sitting here building, and you haven't even been able to see it. How dare I? Okay. Goes here. Dutch waifu. Hey, that's a nice one. It's definitely spooked easily like that as well. I have to, like, announce when I'm entering a room, but even then, sometimes she doesn't hear me. And sometimes I'll forget, and I'm just like, I'm just walking. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I try to walk heavier than I normally would, you know. I try to like clear my throat as I'm entering rooms, stuff like that. Lars says I'm easily spooked as it is, but honestly, it's like I feel my soul leaving my body every time that happens. Woof, that's rough, and that's probably pretty close to what happens too with PTSD, right? It's a very out of body experience. It's very terrifying. Oops. And especially since PTSD, that your mind kind of disassociates, right? I've got some knowledge. I've got some knowledge of around disassociation that I can't really get into because it's not really about me. So, but yeah, I feel you. Let's see. I feel like I know where it came from. Yeah, and that's why it's more like PTSD, right? Trying to get, I know you can't see what I'm doing there, but I'm trying to get that piece in that side there. The Razer Kraken headset for work, since it's got the best mic I have for Teams calls. That's the funny thing, is this Teams one, not the greatest mic. It's like, oh, this is a team certified headset for crisp audio. I probably have the worst mic on my team. But honestly, you can hear me, you can understand me. I actually don't care that much for work. You know, like I'm not using this. I'm not using the SM7B for work. Like I don't care if it's not crisp. As long as you can understand me, that's all I care about. You know. But I've listened to a recording where I'm on, and it's like a lot muddier than I thought it was going to be. And Clumsy had the same headset. Mine started rusting, though, and the wire was fraying. Wow, that's some usage right there. I was playing a gig, and there was a small delay between input and output on speakers. There's a thing I believe is called shadow talk. Yes, That'll get shadow talking, mess you up royally. You cannot speak while hearing yourself on a delay unless you've really practiced it a lot. 100%. I can't do that. The MX3 headphones have a switch on them to easily turn noise canceling off. Okay. So it's like software noise canceling, right? Not like, it's not actually sealing your ears. It's just giving you, it's pumping in like white noise or something, right? That happens sometimes with Teams too, when someone's mic picks up their speaker sound, throws me for a loop. Yep. Nonder has entered the room. Yes, I play a theme song whenever I come into the room. I'm really behind on chat. Sorry. You can smell the trash scent before you enter the room. Good callback. Good callback, Levi. Adds a shade of danger on top of it for sure, because who knows? Disassociating when you don't realize you're disassociating that. Yeah, you have both. Yep, yeah. I'm the real big trash psyop. How did I get so far behind? I scrolled up on chat and didn't realize that you guys were talking still, so I'm getting caught up. She got sexually harassed a couple years ago when she was on her way to work on her bicycle. I think it came from there. Pretty sure, actually. That's horrible. Oh, sexually assault? Holy crap. Oh, crap. Jeez. Yeah, I think that would probably do it, right? That's horrible. I am so sorry. Ugh. Oof. At the beginning of the pandemic, I hooked up my pro cam and mic to meetings. Now I just use Logic webcam for both. I considered it, but it's so much to unplug and plug into the other computer that I was like, nah. I have this over here for the most part. So I have a different webcam for work, and I put this mic over here, right? And so you can kind of see it. And I had a comment one time. I was like, that is a nice mic. What do you do? They're like, are you a podcaster or a streamer or something? And I had to be like, oh, yeah, I dabble a little bit. But there's no way I'm sharing my streamer name with anybody at work. Sorry. Maybe if I got to know them really well and they had similar interests, but otherwise I'm not actively giving out that information. No, thank you. And this is just the one wall. We still have another wall to go. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. Is that everything there? Yep, okay. All right, so this is gonna attach to, spin it around, it's gonna attach to this side. Yep, it's just gonna slide. Look at that, look how cool. It just slides. That's really clever. When I first picked this set up, I didn't realize that it was gonna do that. I didn't know that it was gonna slide like that. And then when I looked at the box closer a couple weeks ago, I noticed that, and I'm like, that's really cool. Really cool. I'll give you a better shot of this once. Yeah, it's clean. It's like, that's where you know it stops. For dramatic purposes, you know. This one's nice. Procam, do you really want coworkers to see your pandemic work from home 4K glory? Yeah, I imagine, Dutch. That would, yeah. I do not get owning your life in all aspects of it. I don't go blurting out my streaming, but I don't mind sharing it. Yep, I posted streams in our music and random channel at work. Absolutely, yeah. So like, you know, look at my scene behind me, right? This is pretty much what they see on work calls. I put a work webcam. It's a crappy old webcam. I put it up there right where this one is. And this is pretty much what they see. They just see the mic over here. Now, not every call. In some calls, I will blur the background. In some calls, we have some calls with like people who we don't work with, where I will go ahead and blur the background in Teams. But for the most part, my team knows. My team knows that I'm very into Lego and I'm very into Star Wars. And then, of course, you know, when they saw the mic, I did say, like, yeah, I dabble in streaming sometimes. But that's pretty much all I talk about. You know, I don't actively give out that information, you know. Well, I would. So I would. If somebody was like, oh, that's so cool. I love watching streamers. What do you stream? I would tell them. And then if they were like, I'd love to watch, I'd totally give it. I would totally do that. And it has not ever gone further than like, oh, cool. All right. So what are we talking about? If someone was genuinely interested, I would 100% share it. But I'm not interested in building a viewer base of people that I work with. You know what I mean? I know for most people, they'd be like, hey, a view's a view, follower's a follower. But I'm like, I'm interested in trying to keep some of that separate. So not so much to like hide or that I'm ashamed or anything. It's just that I would prefer to keep it separate as much as I possibly can. Might not always be possible, but... Yeah, so I mean that's also part of it too, is that like, did I do that right? No, I did not. This is supposed to go all the way over here. What am I doing? That's also part of it, is that no one has really showed interest in that. If anybody was like, that's so cool, I want to see it, I would absolutely in a heartbeat do it. I wouldn't be ashamed of that. But when you can kind of tell when you share your hobby with someone and you just get met with like either silence or like, cool. Well, I watched the sports game this week. I work with a lot of people who are way more into sports than anything else in their life. So, if the talks typically, like in our big, we have like a weekly call with our team. Those talks typically devolve into talks of family, which, I can relate to. I got a family. I can talk about that kind of stuff. Restaurants that they're going to go eat at, and food they've eaten that week, and then sports. And that's pretty much what we talk about on our team. Very superficial, very surface level, which is fine, whatever. But yeah, so if anybody showed an interest, I would 100% share it with them. But that's my thought. Yeah, have you been able to find any help with that? Like Delicious says, I don't know what does help. You hate CBT. I just heard CBT the other day. What is that term again? Something cognitive behavior therapy. Is that it? You have family? That's wild. What is that like? I mean, we all got family, right? We all got something. But it's like, it's a lot of people with kids, So prior to me also having a kid, I couldn't relate to half of what they were talking about and didn't feel like I had a lot to offer the conversation. But at least now, I feel like I can contribute. And anytime hobbies and stuff come up, I bring up, like, I love Lego. That's pretty much what I do. And occasionally I'll make a joke about it. Like if I'm not using a filter on it, I'll be like, yep, I had to flex the Lego collection. I had to do it. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay. What did I say? I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of Indian consultants, so there's a culture clash as well. Okay. Is it real? Is it that bad? Is it that bad? I'm not going to diagnose you. I think you know your mental health. You know what you need, right? Is it that bad? Or I'm assuming you've tried it, right? Or is that a defense mechanism, do you think? Don't take that the wrong way. I'm genuinely curious that, like, if you really truly believe, like, no, I've tried it and it was a horrible experience and it doesn't work for me, and a lot of other people it doesn't work for, or if it was like, I'm worried about trying it. I would be worried. If I had deep trauma like that, I'd be very careful with who I confided in with that, And how do you find a good one? Dr. Lish has had some success with CBT. You've tried it and it just doesn't work for me. Okay. That's fair enough, I think. That's fair enough. Do you think there's anything that would help? We don't have to air we don't have to air this on stream if you don't want to. So anytime you feel uncomfortable, feel free to nix it. Say, shut up, non. It's a common thing among neurodivergent people, actually. So, okay, interesting. Better go shopping before they close the alcohol section. All right, Nidalicious, have a great day. It sounds like you're about to have a wonderful evening, so take care. Yeah, non, shut up. I love talking about this stuff, but I'm always cautious because I don't want people to I don't want to say the wrong thing first off and like say something insensitive or something that's factually wrong. I don't know. I almost feel like sometimes I missed a calling in life to be like some kind of therapist because I love listening to people. I love just like hearing people out. I don't know. The biggest help I feel has been from medication, good, including meds that help me sleep, because I can't remember when I had a decent night's sleep before them. Oof, yeah. I would imagine that's when a lot of that stuff comes roaring back, right? I had quetiapine, which is also an antipsychotic. Sometimes I feel bitter that my mom's all chill at her place, and here I am in a different country taking antipsychotics to help me cope. I feel like I remember you talking about that before, and that definitely has to be rough. Yeah, I think you mentioned that before, that it's like, why do I have to suffer with this when, I hope I'm not taking a leap here, but when the person who arguably might have had something to do with my suffering is sleeping like a baby, right? I hope I didn't cross a line there, but I feel like you've mentioned something like that. You know, I'm all for like finding the thing that helps you, and if that's medication, I think that's good. Especially if it helps you get through it, you know. I would hope that you can do more than eventually that you can do more than just get through a day. I would love to see you like thrive, you know. I don't know what that looks like. Again, you know, I didn't go to school for any of this, so but yeah. I'm just like, I get to sleep really well. Tonight I did see my sister, the crappy one, eat a bin biscuit. So that was pretty great. Like a biscuit that got thrown in the trash? Is that what you mean? She ate a trash biscuit? Okay, cool. I think the most important thing is like listening to people who are in those situations and being like, hey, like if I say something that like is either like crossing a line or asking too much information, just totally let me know. Totally. It always comes back to trash. This is the one and only trash stream. I also had a long history of depression and wanting to unalive myself, so I think medication is kind of what saved me, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that too. Because the world is a better place with you in it. So whatever it takes to keep you in it is a net positive for me. We definitely need to normalize medication more because so many people have problems that they never get taken care of. Yeah, because either they've been made to feel like medication makes them weak, or worse. In some instances that I run around in or used to run around in, that medication means that you don't trust God enough to solve your problems for you. That's dangerous. I'm the trash man. Even the Lego's trash today. Yeah. Yeah. I should get that Danny DeVito clip from Sunny where he's just like, I'm the trash man. Even though like there's some issues with that show for sure. Oh, thank you. I almost missed this part. I mean, technically I don't trust God enough to heal me. Yeah. True. But that's in the, you know, in the very specific circles I ran around in as a younger man. Well, and even sometimes today, I still deal with it. Yeah, like we didn't talk about medication at all growing up. I mean, obviously, like medication like Advil and Tylenol, that was fine. Like those were good. Like those were like we should use the medicine that God has created. But when you start getting into things like, you know, medications for your mental health or any kind of drug use for your mental health, it was like, well, you know, maybe have you tried praying about it first? Have you seen a Christian psychologist first? And it's like, I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, some people have had trauma or they have some kind of chemical imbalance or any number of reasons why those things might not work for them. And maybe, just maybe, this is the thing that God put in their path to actually help them. And you're telling them to be like, just not use it. You know, I don't know. Technically, oh, I read that. Not after the appendix. Never trust God. What? A lot of callbacks to earlier in the stream. Did I ever tell you I got kicked out of Sunday school for asking bad questions when I was like 3 or 4 years old? Tell me the questions. I don't think you've told me this story, but please, if you remember those questions, I would love to hear them because that's fascinating. That's fascinating. I would just love to see some people squirm. Just squirm. I could probably, Lars, if it's not too triggering, I could probably tell you exactly what they would say back to those questions to write you off. But I don't know if we want to do that, but I think I could probably do it. I think my training is going to kick in here in a minute. My brainwashing, if you want to call it that. I wish I'd remember. I just remember my sister taking me to her church a couple of times, and we colored pictures there sitting on the floor. Hey, I mean, that sounds like a good memory so far, right? Like getting kids together, sitting on the floor, coloring, singing some fun songs. Like so far, not too bad, right? I can't remember, but I do remember the adults being a little pearl clutchy at me. Yeah. It's like, what did you ask? You asked what? I think if Miss Nodder and I talk about this a lot, that it's like, I definitely want a place for my kid to go where, one, I feel like they're safe, right? That's the biggest concern is like, are the people who are watching out for the children, are they qualified people? Have they been vetted? Have they been background checked? Stuff like that. You know, do we trust them? What processes are in place for when, you know, we can't trust people? So those are big questions to ask, obviously. Second, it's like, yeah, I want them to be able to have a place to go where they can meet friends and they can learn fun songs and have a good time. And then if somebody sits them down and tells them, hey, you should be a good person. You should be kind. You should be generous. You should take care of people. You should be accepting. You know what I mean? Like, these aren't bad things. And to me, honestly, these are things Jesus taught us. And I'm only speaking specifically of Jesus, not of the anything else. But specifically, if you're wanting to teach what Jesus taught, I'm cool with that. Like, I think these things make us good people, make us a better society. And that's ultimately what I want for my kid. So there is some benefit there. It's just finding the balance, the right balance between the toxicity and the benefits. It's becoming very hard. Mind you, I was visibly disabled from childhood, so I imagine that might have had something to do with it. That sucks. Yeah. What is it okay, first I'll just ask, is it insensitive to ask someone who is disabled, like, how do you ask that? How do you ask, like, what do you suffer with? Like, use this as a teaching moment for me. You don't have to tell me. But like, what would be an appropriate way to ask that? You know? Or do you just not ask? Is it something you just shouldn't ask people at all? Oh, I've had people try to pray me okay many times. Whew. That I think is like rough, because for a kid, it's fine, and it depends on the person. That's exactly why I hesitate to like ask anybody, because it could be, I don't know. I guess you just ask, like, do you mind if I ask you this, right? You just be honest about it. But the praying away stuff is rough, because it's like, even Christians agree that miracles are rare, right? And if God wants to do something, in my mind, if God wants to do something, he's going to do it, regardless of whether or not I prayed for it. That's what I believed. I believed this for a long time, even in my Christian days, my deeply Christian days. So to kind of plant some sort of false hope in somebody's mind of like, yeah, I'm sure that would be great if that were to happen, but like, to plant that hope in someone's mind seems a little toxic. So it would be more like, hey, what's your disability, if you don't mind talking about it, or something like that. Okay, cool. Yeah. Never say suffering with, for example, wheelchair bound. Okay, so you wouldn't say like, what disability do you suffer from? So it would just be, what is your disability? It's so weird, the things that I think don't sound good in my head, right? It's weird, the things that I think, if I just said, hey, what's your disability, in some weird way sounds different to me than saying like, almost like acknowledging the suffering feels better to me. But I don't know, it's, who knows how I was taught how to, I think we basically just ignored disabilities for the most part. Yeah, maybe blunt. I guess I want people to know that, like, I get that that the way that they have to live their life is so different than mine, and that I understand that. So maybe a little too virtue signally. That might be a problem. Maybe too, like, I want to put you on display to make myself feel better. That's probably it. Yeah. Like, I'm almost being virtue signaling by being like, oh, with what do you suffer, you poor creature? That it feels condescending, right? English speaking countries saying disability seems to be bad. Yeah, that is the feeling I get in my gut when I say, like, what's your disability? Like, I don't know who told us that was a bad word, but somewhere deep in my psyche that has been kind of labeled for me. But you are really helping me kind of break through that and figuring out a good way to talk about that kind of stuff. It's a normal way to be, in the sense of it's not something uncommon or unnatural. Exactly. Yeah. I think you just got to take yourself out of the picture and be like, how is that affecting that particular person, you know? Where is this last one? There it is. I like talking about this stuff, though. I think there is a sense of people that they're scared that they're gonna say the wrong thing, and a lot of people are like, oh, one day I'm just gonna use the wrong term and I'm gonna get canceled. And I think that's a bunch of BS, because I think most people are nice enough that if you make a mistake, like you, Lars, I make a mistake and say something, and it's strictly just because I didn't know, and you say, hey, like, don't say it that way because X and Y. And I go, oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's really good to know. Nobody's ever told me that before. And then it's done, you know, and nobody gets canceled. It's just all these crybabies about cancel. Like, you're never going to learn anything if people can't teach you something, you know? We're almost done with this other wall. These types of conversations are great. I think so too. It's just stuff that we didn't get any focus on growing up, you know? Here? I forget, what did these end up doing? Oh, they don't. They're just kind of greebles on the side. I wonder if that's going to come together somehow. This is the last bag, right? I think this is the last one. It'd be cool if there's like a crank system in the back that you could spin and have it compact itself. That'd be pretty cool. But I think you just push it with your hands. My parents never teach me this kind of stuff, so it's nice. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe because there's a lot to teach kids, maybe they just, you know, if you don't have someone in your family with a disability or somebody that you interact with, then it doesn't really cross most people's minds, you know? I don't think that's like a great excuse, but, you know. Ooh, recently Lizzo, the singer, had a controversy because she used the word, I want to talk to you about this. Maybe don't say it out loud, that one, in the intro of a song. This word has been a slur towards disabled people for ages, originally originating from spastic or oh, I probably just shouldn't have said that. And she actually took a few days, published a really good apology, and removed it from the song. Mrs. Nonder was talking about this just the other day. And I actually thought, I was like, that's really interesting. I should ask Lars about that. So first off, no idea that word had those connotations to it. And I'll be 100% that there's probably going to be a time where I have said that word in the past and probably will say it in the future because it was such a 90s term. Sort of like, I don't even want to, I'm definitely not going to say this word, but we'll say the R slur and you'll know what I'm talking about in context. So that was just a common insult. In fact, that insult was hurled at me as a kid, when I didn't have like that disability at all. But just when somebody thought I was being stupid, they would just, that was super common in like the 80s and 90s. And I think that's another one where it was super common for people to say that. And it's 100% in my vocabulary. Hey, bud, what'd you get? Oh, Zeke wants to show you all something, okay? Come here. Let's show him. Come here. Come here. He got this for his birthday. Whoops. This is socks. This is socks.
I can provide sleep sounds if you like. I have several options. Summer night, ocean paradise, whale call.
Whale call? He just got this yesterday. He's already like memorized all the things.
I did it on TV.
He got on the TV? Yeah, like socks on the TV. Yep. He got so much Buzz Lightyear stuff. Marketable plushies. Yep. Yeah, Buzz Lightyear and socks.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Let me finish this and then we'll play with all your new toys today, okay? Okay? Oh yeah, we taking her. Are we doing lunch? Okay. Cool. Okay. All right, I'll be out in a little while, okay? He's so adorable. I tell you. Whoops. No, not end. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Marketable plushies. Very cute. I had no idea it was a bad word. My mom's used it so much. I think my mom used it a lot too. Like, quit being, you know, I know, guys, like, I know this is going to be one of those words that it's in me. It's in my vocabulary. There's a lot of words that, like, are problematic that I never used. And so it's easy for me to, like, look down on people and be like, but I can bet that this one will be hard for me, but it's definitely something that I'll change. I don't think I used it a lot, but it would definitely be when somebody's being very hyperactive. But then, you know, you sit down and think about it and you go, yeah, okay, seems like it. But what Mrs. Nonder said is she's like, that was so good. It's like you didn't know it. I didn't know it. So how would I expect anyone else to know it? And the community reacts and you go, I didn't know. And she literally rewrites her song because of it. Like, the world needs more people like that. You don't like her music, you don't like her, whatever. That was a good response. That was the way, I feel like the way that we all are supposed to react, right? And she didn't get canceled which I'm sure the right is going to try to be like, Lizzo caved to the mob. It's like, no. They told her that what she was saying was problematic, and she went, whoa, I didn't know that, and she changed. That's it. That's it. Lars, yeah, like when everything was gay, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was totally a, and I even had people try to justify that and saying that, like, I don't mean it like that. I just mean that you're stupid. And it's like, well, that's condescending too. Like, come on. It was so good, so good. Class act and a big role model. I appreciated it too. And as somebody who like is also just trying to be more conscious of what he says, because I think these things are important, it was really cool to see somebody do it the right way. She didn't get all bent out of shape like the conservatives. I hate to lump it all into one, but really, I think they get so bent out of shape when people, liberals are at it again, canceling people. Well, it's like she is arguably now going to be probably so much bigger than she already was. She's a massive star. Like, already people love her. And she's probably going to be, because of this alone, people are going to probably flock to her even more. And the conservatives are going to seethe about it and just be mad about it. Because at the end of the day, they want to be able to say something, but they don't have the what is it called? The integrity to say, hey, I messed up. You all are right. I shouldn't say that. Because they would rather be like, no, I get to say whatever I want to say, and you just have to deal with it. Your feelings don't matter. The facts don't care about your feelings. That's what they want. That's what they want. And it's sad, you know? Especially comedians, yeah. Comedians. It's actually like, hey, so comedy is subjective, right? Everybody finds different things funny. And as a comedian, like, it's your job to make people laugh, right? All right. So let's say you had a joke that just killed. It used to kill. Like, everybody laughed at it so much. I don't know what that joke would be. It doesn't really matter. But, like, let's just say you had one. Everybody just loved it. And then over the course of years, people are like, you know what? That joke's kind of played out. Maybe it's a knock-knock joke, right? And people are just so done with knock-knock jokes, right? And they're like, you know what? I really wish you wouldn't do knock-knock jokes anymore. We don't find them funny. And then the guy gets upset about it. And it's like, you triggered snowflakes. Why don't you think knock-knock jokes are funny? It's because, like, the culture's moved beyond it, right? And no comedian in his right mind, or her right mind, because women are also funny, by the way, in their right mind would continue to tell knock-knock jokes. Now, these are different than knock-knock jokes. It's more important than that, but I'm just making a point. But because that's not what people find funny. So when people don't find it funny, you either have to adapt, or you probably are not going to be a comedian any longer. So as a society, hopefully, we're moving in a direction where things like this aren't funny to us anymore. And we have to acknowledge that at some point, maybe not us, but culture as a whole, they did find that funny. They did find racism and homophobia and sexism. They found it funny. They did. Because you can go back and listen to, you can just go back to a 90s sitcom and find stuff that's like, woof. I probably wouldn't have said it that way. That's a little much, because as a culture, we have moved beyond that being funny. And it isn't because we've like, oh, we don't know what's funny. We just want to be so woke. It's like, no, we literally don't find it funny anymore. The left is trying to cancel knock-knock jokes. How dare they? So it's not quite the same thing, but it's pretty close, you know? Yeah. Just, I don't know, man. If the world doesn't find what you're doing funny, then as a comedian, you probably need to shift your content, right? And hopefully you would end up doing that for the right reason. But as we talked about earlier with our trash conversation, people don't typically like to do things without a financial incentive. At least in a capitalist society, they don't like to do that. So hopefully the monetary incentive is that no one will come to your crappy show if all you're going to do is make fun of trans people for an hour and a half. And us, as people who find those things to be important, need to stop giving those people money for it. We just have to stop. And hopefully over enough time, enough people will do that and they'll want to change. I wish we could just make people change without a financial incentive, but people... I probably know all their talking points. My dad watches so much of that kind of stuff. Ooh, yeah. I feel for you because I totally know what that is. I know what that is. I've been there myself. I almost went there myself. I keep talking about this. Eventually I will do it. But I feel the makings of a good story about how I almost fell down the right pipeline, the pipeline of the right, the alt-right pipeline, as they call it. And some of the things that I think helped me remain objective and not actually go down that pipeline and not fully believe the things that I was being fed. I don't know what they are yet. I have to sit down and kind of think through that. But that's a big project because it shines light on a lot of stuff from my past and a lot of stuff that people that I know and love, family and friends, who still believe those ways, and I don't believe those ways. And it's kind of hard to put that into words to express to people that, like, hey, I think you're wrong, and here's why. So I want to do it the right way, you know. But I do too, Clumsy. I know all the talking points. Like I said, like we were talking earlier with Lars, like I could probably give you all the apologetics answers. I could probably parrot so many things. I grew up listening to Rush Limbaugh, which if y'all don't know who that is, thank God. But it was on in our house constantly on. And he had a long show. He had like a 4-hour show every single day. And some of the stuff I've heard there has permeated my skull. There's a certain term that he would use to describe feminists. And I'm not even going to say it here because I think I couldn't say it on Twitch. But those words and the cadence in which he said it and the hatred in which he said it are up here. And they have an effect on people. To be quite honest, I feel like more and more people are starting to realize that past style of comedy and comedian is just really not that funny. I think I agree with that. You know, it's hard when, especially at a sitcom, when you're told to be there and then the applause meter goes off and you're just supposed to or the laugh track goes off and you just laugh. And then of course they have a laugh track for a lot of things where that wasn't really the crowd's reaction. So how do we even know what was funny? And I'm sure you can find some people that find jokes about trans people to be funny. And it's just like, I don't find that funny, you know? Just like I'm sure you can still find comedians who think that jokes about disabled people are funny. Like the amount of comedians I've seen mock mental disabilities is staggering, you know? You know, they're acting a certain way on stage that they think those people, not even that they think that act that way. They're just mocking them. They're just mocking people who can't help things. And it doesn't even apply to all people. And those are objectively like not funny, I think. I don't think they ever were. So I think there is some aspect in which comedy has changed and things that people used to find funny they don't find funny anymore, but I also think that there's some things that objectively were never funny and just no one wanted to say, you know? How dare you, sir? Richard Pryor, George Carlin. I don't know. I meant like Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is is an enigma to me. I don't get that guy. I don't get why he's dying on this hill. I do not understand it. It looks like I might have put the wrong color of this in somewhere. So I got to do some hunting while we keep talking about this. Because like a lot of people arguably found Dave Chappelle to be funny. I think it might be this thing over here. Let me see if I can get a better angle of it. Yeah, it was this right here. Okay. All right. Oh shoot, can I not take it all off now? I think at some point people did find him funny. It's just weird that he's dying on this trans rights hill. It's just weird. Or the, what do they call it? What do they call the turf? The turf stuff. It's just weird. I don't know. It's just weird for me to see people so obsessed about something when there's so much going on in the world. I'm not talking about the, trans people in general. I'm talking about the anti-trans people. So obsessed with what's going on with other people's bodies that they should have no say in, and they're so worried about something, and I don't understand it. I don't understand the fascination, and I think it says something about them. Yeah, TERFs. Yeah. I think it says something about their character. There's something interesting. Yeah, I don't know, Nidalicious. It's easy to put a blanket statement on somebody. So the only thing I'll say about this is that I don't know why he's leaning into it. So even if, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. Where does this go? I don't feel like I am connected enough with the issue to have a good take on it right now. I didn't watch the whole special. But I also think that as somebody with a public somebody with a public platform like that, it would be good for him to be a little clearer then. If you're saying that he's not that, I haven't seen a ton of evidence. Oh, that's so cool. I haven't seen like the evidence of him coming out and saying, hey, like, no, I've been misunderstood. Here's what I'm really saying. But I don't know. I feel like that's a powder keg, right? And in a world where we should just learn to love and accept people, it's weird that certain conservative types, let's not even talk about Dave Chappelle then, but certain conservative types really want to die on this hill. And it's so weird to me. I'm even seeing like conservative kids who now all of a sudden seem so concerned with like gender, and like, can you believe so-and-so wants to use these pronouns? And I was like, dude, I didn't think about this stuff when I was your age. Who is putting this in your mind that this is a bad thing, right? Obviously, it's in the national conversation, but it's like somebody put it into these kids' minds that this is a bad thing. Like, can you believe this bad thing is happening? And it's like, why are you all so obsessed with what other people are doing with their bodies? Abortion too, absolutely. Why are you so obsessed with what other people are doing? It's wild. But I think I'm willing to hear people out. I'm not willing to like write anybody off. I just haven't seen it, but to be fair, I haven't been looking. So okay, we get R2D2 and C3PO back here. I find the whole thing sad, to be honest. I find the whole thing to be sad. It's just funny that they think that children are being groomed. And meanwhile, it's like, why would a 15-year-old be mad about a friend of theirs who decided to be non-binary or something? Like, who taught you that should make you mad? It's just sad to see because it's all taught. Okay, so Chewbacca stands here holding this little thing. Wait, can he stand there? Yeah. So Chewbacca stands up on this. He's gonna try to stop it, right? Princess Leia's over here. The positioning of the characters is pretty accurate, right? I'll show you a better view once I get it all set up. Hey, what's up, Kay? My legs, they burn. Yes, there are people that are horrible and will defend Chappelle because they're transphobic, and aggressively will debate you because they find that to be wrong. Those people are horrible. Dave Chappelle's not one of those people from what I've seen and heard of him. I would have to look into that more. Not that I don't believe you, but like, yeah. I'd have to look into that more. I don't know. But I can agree with your first part that yes. Yeah. Time to cancel me for attempted murder. See, that would be cancelable offense, I think, right? If I tried to kill somebody. Yeah, he was at the birthday party that I talked about earlier. And of course, we never heard the end of it. So. There's Clumsy saying hey. All right, and you, Han Solo over here. He is standing. What does it look like behind this junk here? All that junk inside his trunk. There it is. He's not even helping Luke. He's not even looking over at him. I'm gonna make him look over. Hi, Daddy. Okay, and then Luke is getting, yeah, he is getting trapped by the little alien in here, the little trash monster, and he's trying to shoot it, but get you a better view there. He's trying. Cute. I think that's it. You're the weirdo who wore jeans, bub. Wait, how do your legs hurt if you didn't get a sun? You didn't get, I thought you meant you got a sunburn on your legs. Are they like chafed or something? In my defense, I bought shorts, I just forgot them. I don't know if that's a defense or not, but they burn from activity, not sunburn. Okay, so like your jeans, like, yeah, you got like a chafe going on. Is that more accurate? I think that's more accurate, right? Okay. One thing's for sure. We're all gonna be a lot thinner. in hindsight, for what happened to poor Carrie Fisher during the production of Star Wars. That's a sad line. Look at this. Look at that. That's so cool. And then Chewie's pole right there stops it. See? Look at that. That is really cool. I think the only thing that could make this cooler if there was some kind of crank system. Right? That would be the only... That's so cool, right? Oh, there, it sticks a little bit right here. You got to kind of push beyond. Wonder what it's sticking on. It seems like it. Oh, it could be because of the angle. I think it was because of the angle I was doing it on. It's a lot better this way. The details, it's all about the details with these sets. Look at that. That's so cool. Oh, his hair's a little... But I don't like how he should be facing Luke, though. I don't know if he'll fit any other way. Because he was trying to shoot at the thing. And Leia's like, why are you shooting in here? You're going to get us all killed. There we go. I think that's a better positioning for Han. We'll do a little modification. Oh, 3PO. I hurt the droid, guys. I'm sorry. Oh. Don't worry about it. And the droids are back here. Yet again. The droid murderer. There you go. Yeah, this little tube inside here is attached right here. It's kind of hard. The lighting isn't perfect here to see inside. There you go. Here, that's better. Just classic non. Man, I really want to play Jedi Knight right about now. I really would love to, but it's 9:30, so it is definitely time to go. That is the trash compactor is going to go up right next to this one's smaller, so it's nice. I think we're going to have enough room on the shelf. I have all the helmets over here, and the dioramas are going on that shelf. I hope I have enough room, but guys, I'm running out of space. I gotta do something about this. I don't know what to do anymore. I also want to get back into building my own stuff. And I don't know. Build a Lego shelf? Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of shelves. I want to get back into also building some of my own stuff too. Here, I want to get a good screenshot here. Let's see. Okay. Did that work? Oh. There it goes. Okay, now I'm making a weird face, so that didn't work. Build a shelf out of Lego. Oh. Clever. Okay. Let's get a good screen cap out of this. Okay. Yeah. Use all of my Lego to build a Lego shelf. You know. All right. Last chance to get your name in this screenshot here. There we go. All right, that's good. Classic. Okay, I'm gonna bring this back up. Okay, anybody got someone that they would like us to raid? I'll probably have to raid and run, unfortunately. I will probably have to raid and run, but if you got somebody you'd like, I can also check and see who I've got on deck.
It's Chuck Norris's water.
It's Chuck Norris's water.
It's a roundhouse kick of hydration.
Thank you. What'd you say, butts? Now that the coffee's gone, it tastes much better. Thank you. I have a friend. Okay. Who's your friend? Let me move some stuff out of the way so I can get to my keyboard. Jedi Fallen Order. We will be playing Jedi Fallen Order soon, hopefully. I think I want to finish Jedi Knight 2 first now, because I'm really into it. And like Thursdays are about the only day I get to play it, but okay, cool. Dune. Booty and Kid Cuisine. That is a name. Booty Kid Cuisine. All right, what are we getting into here? Let's go take a look. Oh, no, Twitch. Twitch. Let's see here. Booty and Kid Cuisine. All right. I'm hoping Kid Cuisine like the frozen dinners, right? Oh, hey, don't play that ad for me. We also have Zijaro and Pitch. He's a blind DJ. Very cool. Would be interesting to see how that plays out. Have you all seen this feedback feature on Twitch? Like right by the follow button, there's a thing that says give this streamer feedback. And it's anonymous, which is worrisome, but
I can get back
let's see.
Here. This is where I'm trying to go. Now.
I wonder if this is his first time playing. Okay. I have no idea where he got his username from.
Our current new goal is to get to the top.
I'm okay with it.
That's how you
kind of keeps us in the Star Wars theme. I'm good with that. Some have it, some don't. Cool. I didn't hear about it at all till I saw it somewhere. I'm not sure if I have it on mine. I've seen it on other people's, so I'm not sure how they roll that out. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't see it on. Okay, I'm not sure if they roll it out for that streamer. They probably would have to, right? Yeah, so I guess I'm not important enough to have it yet. So, boo, womp womp. But you see it on other streamers, right? So it must be applied streamer at a streamer level. All right. Anyway, let's do it. Let's go over to Booty and Kid Cuisine. I trust Lars. I trust Lars on this one, okay? I trust all of you, but I trust Lars on this one. Twitch is always doing the A and B testing. Yeah, did you see that they're actually giving more ad revenue as well now? The problem is you have to run more ads. And it's like, I would prefer to like not run more ads. Like I'm actually looking at like not running ads at all. In fact, I think I turned them off for this stream. If you're running 3-minute ads per hour, that feels like a lot, doesn't it? Okay, especially when the ads are so intrusive, right? The ads are like, they stop whatever you're seeing and you have to go over here. You know what I mean? Like, your affiliate, you can't disable ads. I mean, technically, I can disable auto ads. But I can still run ads. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but what I'm thinking of doing, rather, I should say it this way. I'm thinking of running manual ads like on the hour and doing an actual screen so that no one has to miss out on like what we're currently doing. I just have to get a system set in place that will alert me before it happens so that I'm not surprised. So we can go into it. I can go and get a drink. Everybody can go get drinks, use the bathroom, do whatever they need to do, come back, and not have to have the content just, you know, taken over by an ad. I think that's a bad part. So, okay, let's raid. Let's raid. I could talk about this stuff all day too. Raid. Booty. Booty and Kid Cuisine. Let's find out how he got that name, all right? You can only tweak when and how often. True. So I think if I don't run it, they'll run it for me, right? But anyway, thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Troy, you were the Phantom Menace, so thank you so much for always being here as soon as we start. And thank you for the new the first time chatter, Arnaud443 for the 10 bits. I appreciate you. All right, guys, go say hello. Daddy Bezos got to get paid. And I'll see you all tonight. We'll play something tonight. All right. See ya.
Pretty good. Do I have to cut the stream? Yeah. Nonder.
That's me.
Thanks for the raid.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Yeah, we're doing okay, right?
I don't have the shout out command, but didn't have anything to do with it. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. What were you playing? How was your stream? Non-raid sounds like it's not happening. Love some Fallen Order, so you come recommended from Larzapan? Nice. Playing with Lego.
Okay. If you all are still here,
Which game?
I love you very
I
much.
really like all the Lego games. This
Have
is
a
one
great
that I
day.
can go across. No, it's not. It's slightly inclined the other direction. Or were you like literally building Listening to Lego Star Wars? Nice. Did a Lego diorama of the trash compactor scene. That's cool. Why is this fan? Is it because you can hang on the bottom of this and climb? Oops. How many hours in? Not sure. I want to say about 5. Well, probably. How long have we been going? Probably 5.5 at this point. Mostly just. Yeah, roughly about 6. 5.5 to 6, somewhere in there. Mostly just, I'm back here on Bogano picking up some, like, collectibles and stuff. And just making sure that I get everything, because I'm kind of particular about getting all of the secrets and stuff in most games. Iterate and run, but you'll keep lurk as long as you can. Hey, I appreciate you anyway. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, it is my first playthrough.
Oh, hi there.
I don't know how to... I feel like I got across there at some point. It's probably there, huh? Because they're gonna have, like... I feel like they're gonna have, like, a super jump or something. Physical IRL Lego, I see. I feel like there is gonna be like a super jump at some point, but I don't know how to, I don't know if like some of these spots are, these jumps are like makeable without. Have I been down there? I feel like I have, but I don't remember how. It's a great game. You plan on playing it on stream soon?